Stefan Ratchford starting at full-back in place of, we believe, the injured Johnny Lomax. And on the bench, no James Romey tonight. Instead, George Williams comes into the fore as well. The halves very much the powerhouse, the talent group of that Lebanon side. Mitchell Moses and Robbie Farah. Bilhal Marbani, who wears the number 3, making his debut. Watch out for Tim Manor, another NRL star in there as well. Michael Leisha, who's on the bench. But for the most part, we're looking at Newtown and North Sydney, those kind of New South Wales countrysides that these stars, these players represent. But Mitchell Moses, a real eye-catcher last week with a try he scored against the French. Tim Manor, the forward as well, state of origin experience behind him, winning his second cap as well here tonight, the Parramatta Eels front row forward. Well, England looking to improve here tonight, hoping to avoid that split personality that they may have produced in years gone by. Their form gave reason for encouragement against Australia last week, and they need to show a similar game face tonight. And they need to win. It's not a question of performance here this evening, is it? Brian Noble and Ian Millward alongside us. Ben Thaler about to get us underway. It's not about performance tonight, it's that and victory for England here.
Well, it is about improvement, but it's clearly about getting that one win up that will take them into the top 3 in the group. All 3 qualify in this group, but an improved performance is necessary. I think that element of ball control that Kevin talked about in the studio and Jiffy, I think England want to see in these kind of conditions, roll the ball forward and make good decisions.
Ian?
Yeah, I'll tell you what, one thing, Australia and New Zealand this weekend have made a statement with their scores, their wins and the way they've gone about their business. If England rate themselves a chance in this tournament, they've got to push their way in the top 3 and be like Australia and New Zealand, have a convincing win.
Clinical. They need to be clinical. Hodgson picks up from dummy half, and England beginning to make progress in these early stages here. Lebanon, of course, involved in the 2000 World Cup. They were seen as just a bunch of journeyman Aussies on that occasion. They managed decent performances against the Welsh and the Cook Islands, hammered by New Zealand. But a different feel about this Lebanon team and the future of Lebanese Rugby League at this World Cup. Early kick. Abu Slayman will pick it up and return. He's been playing a lot in Japan in rugby union. He's also playing with Newtown Jets these days.
I'm really interested in what England do defensively, Dave. I think they've got to make a statement there. I think when the conditions are slightly the way that they are, a little bit of water, there's nothing to stop you really getting forward and making a statement and restricting this Lebanese team that wasn't put under pressure last week by France in the way that they should be tonight by England.
Well, when we caught up with Brad Fitter a little earlier, you might have seen the interview beforehand. He was a little perturbed that his side were ranked as 25-1 outsiders, but suggests that is a realistic prospect. Ryan Hall with an early touch, looking to get back on parity in terms of games played and tries scored. 33 caps, 32 tries these days. And here comes McGilvray.
How good was he last week, McGilvray?
Well, I was going to say both of them. Ian Millward, the Australians have been, a lot of Australians have really sat up and taken notice of those 2 English wingers this week.
Yeah, but I'll go to the other step. If McGilvray and Hall, they'll love that Ratchford's playing today. He has the ability to create a try with a pass. He is more fluent with try assist than he is Lynn Lomax.
Well, decent position here for England. 15 out, but on the last tackle. What can they do here? Gale looking to measure the kick. Hall is up there, looks to knock it back. It's a kick on by Bateman, but it's going to be collected by the fullback, Abu Slayman.
Well, here's where England need to make a statement. Get their lines together, get their speed, let them go forward, restrict the one-out carries. Brad Fittler even mentioned the fact that if they go one out, England are in pole position here. Good opening offensive set, by the way, by England.
It's Farah who goes left, looking for the support there of Mamari, who gets a good ball away, and Farah's involved again and brings in Abbas Miski, the left winger, son of Lebanese immigrants, mostly sons and grandparents, I should say grandchildren of Lebanese immigrants these sides. There's only one man in the entire squad who was born in that country. This is Farah. England's defence keeping a keen eye on matters here. Jamie Clark at dummy half. They're looking for the kick. Takes a deflection off the boot of Moses. Collected by England, and a good starting position here.
You know, that's going to be the big key in this game, the kicking. In both teams, that's where they both have experience. If you look at Moses and Farah, their kicking game's got to equal Widdop and Gale. And that's where you create the field position today, Brian, because England struggled getting out of their half last week.
Yeah, it was one of our talking points, wasn't it, how they did struggle and tried to get, they didn't get any field position in the first half because of the lack of quality in their kicking.
This is Ratchford, Hill on the inside. O'Loughlin spinning around and put down, 25 out. It's back with Graham. And the offload, Hodgson. Oh, Gale's grasping at that, and the referee's got a decision to make here. So Lebanon knock on. It's England who get the head and feet.
Well, they were lucky there, England.
Very much. It's touched him, but it's come off his hands and gone back. But, gee, I've seen a lot of referees say that's a knock-on. Instead of a double knock-on, he's going to say it's Lebanon has made the knock-on through Moses. Great field position. You know, this is what you want. Some repeat sets, great field position. Really looking forward to seeing how Watkins handles in the centres here, because they're up against some really inexperienced centres here, and Watkins should really thrive here. This is where they scored their first try last week on the right.
Gee, I'd be tempted to have one-on-one on the short side there with Ryan Hall.
This is Joshua. Well, Hill is hurt, clearly. Taking that ball in. Well, he's appealing to the referee, I think, about something.
He's not happy, Hilly.
Range has been making somebody stamped on him or twisted his ankle. Let's have a look. There it is.
Nick Cassis, I think he's saying that Nick Cassis rolled him in the tackle there, I think, isn't he?
Tackle one, wait there, Chris, please.
Referee's had some conversation with the men in the box and has decided to carry on here. Here's Graham. England set fair. Tackles in the bag, 10 metres from where they want to be. Hodgson going to that right-hand side. A step by Widdop, looking for the offload. The tackling is too robust, and he has to go down. The line in his sights, though. Hodgson again. Graham spinning it back. England not quite sharp enough on that occasion. The defence was quick.
Mano was good there, closing the play down.
Hodgson looking right to Hill, who'll drive. 20 caps, 21st tonight for Chris Hill. He's yet to score a try. He was close there, and Hodgson goes right again. It's Widdop with a little kick. It's on the ground and collected by Douay on the far side.
I think it's another result for England here. I think he's knocked on.
I think Gareth would like his time again there with a better selection. He actually had a one-on-one with the defender there, and I didn't think he had to make the kick. I thought with Watkins he probably charges over. I'll tell you what, you made the comment about Lebanon already. They're coming hard out the line, but it's only one bloke, Brian, and that's fraught with danger. It looks good at the moment. They shut them down. They get a little bit more depth, England, and I think they'll skin them on the outside.
Hold the 10, guys, Tim. Well, that's home, mate. Head in, spine, head in.
6 minutes played.
Josh, head in, stay on.
Has been a weekend of mismatches so far. Australia big winners against France, although the French did start off encouragingly in their game in Canberra on Friday night. Scotland hammered earlier as well by New Zealand. England looking to do something similar here against Lebanon. Early stages. Hodgson. Oh, I'm not sure that Hill was ready for that, but he got it at the second attempt.
Always expect the ball, Dave. Always expect the ball.
Hodgson again, away from grasping hands. Widdop offers it back on the inside. Whitehead comes clattering forward. Real pressure on the Lebanese line. England looking to surge here. Hodgson and Gale with the quick hands, picked up by Bateman, who dances back on the inside here. John Bateman is a handful.
They need to be patient, England, and this early enthusiasm by the Lebanon will win if they execute a play.
Gale with a kick, that's a decent looking one, it bounces, and is it going to be an in goal here for Farah? England's defenders all over him. And I think he has given the dropout underneath the sticks, hasn't he? So that's a real victory for England's defenders there.
I'll just come back to it, Brian. We talk about them rushing their defence from the outside. Russia, the speed of the play the ball is really slow, isn't it? You know, like we're watching this. There's a lot of fiddling around, slow, and it's just struggling with England to adapt the speed of the tempo at the play the ball. And this is where they got back-to-back sets in a row. You start to get a bit of a feel for the tempo, and you adjust your lines, you adjust your depth. It's a pretty important period here for England. They get that sort of feeling around the ruck area.
Well, they've had all the ball early in this game, and that will help them. And in the right parts of the field as well. So
here's McGilvray. His recent record is 5 tries in the last 5 international games, so he's very much up there with Ryan Hall. They're not just the water carriers, are they? They are the finishers as well. Hodgson, Hill to his left, dancing away and keeping it alive. The pass was a little loose. Curry, you know, he's got pace to burn. Hodgson. It's back with Graham.
he's carried the ball some early in this game, James Graham. I think Hodgson slightly overplaying in and around the ruck.
Totally agree. Totally agree.
Ball out there.
Got them here. Got them here. Here they go. It's going to be Watkins who scores the opening try. Callum Watkins. Quick hands from the English. It was Rashford's pass that set them free at the very last, but the Lebanese defence was already stretched, and England get their early score.
Well, they come off their right-hand side. They favour that right-hand side because Widdop's really dominant. But the most important thing, Stefan Rashford, gee, he seizes the moment really well. He had composure, he had time, but he delivers. And I'm really with you, Brian. Hodgson at the moment, too much dancing around there. Get the ball off the deck and get in the hands of the players early, because they are rushing from the outside. They don't look like they're going back too far either. But, you know, look, they should have a ball tonight, Watkins and McGilvray over on that side, but they need early ball.
They've executed really well there, and that was just great ball from the floor, from the centre. James Graham lays the platform. They've got the number, and you're right, Rashford clearly identifies the side he needs to go back, and Widdop just needs to find the outside there when he gets the ball. But good execution. We've talked about England's execution at the highest level. That was perfect.
Well, last week it wasn't great, and we always said they'd improve from the game. So it's a really good sign that they are doing that. On the top of it, they built pressure. You know, you kept saying the word, don't be impatient. They weren't impatient, and they got the results out of it.
So those Lebanese fans just behind, their passion has not been doused just yet, has it? They seem to be here for the fun. And Widdop's kick is a good one. That's a terrific kick from Widdop from the touchline. And England lead by 6 points to 0.
Well, this is another example here. They've been going one out on the fringes of the Lebanese defence, and eventually that's going to crack on the back of that being patient. If you need to, kick the ball in, tackle them in goal, get the ball back, and that will happen. They certainly couldn't keep that going for longer than they have already.
12 tries in Super League last year, Callum Watkins. 1 try now in this World Cup. And here comes Chris Hill again to try to bring. Look at that possession stat, 76%. Hopefully you're getting that at home. Possession stat, 76% in favour of England so far.
But you have to make the most of that. And days gone by, England have maybe squandered that or not executed and let teams off the hook. They have to have that ruthless mentality tonight to execute and build their team.
Well, the major characteristic in Wayne Bennett teams is they complete the first 10 sets. He demands that, and he didn't get it last week. He's getting it this week.
Hodgson had a dummy half. It's a decent-looking kick here. It's got the full-back Abu Suleiman up there, but what a chase by McGilvray.
You're right, Dave. He was on the fly. Now, this is where they need to back their offensive effort up and restrict Lebanon with any territory.
And there's not many behind the play the ball for the Lebanese. Ed Fittler saying that bringing it out, they couldn't go one out. They had to get themselves organised, but England's kick chase there, limiting Lebanon's options. Couple of tackles left in the set, that's all, and look where they are as Manor takes it forward.
That's play 5.
Yep, that's play 5, and they're inside their 40.
So a kick needed, a good kick needed from Mitchell Moses. Rashford.
This is where this bloke could make a difference. He's good on his feet, good step, can find a space, but I have to say it's a organised kick chase from Lebanon.
Well, I don't think it was the intention to play him at full-back when England played Samoa in the mid-season international, was it? But he found himself in there late on, and he had a very good game, didn't he, Stefan Rashford, in that Samoa game? So certainly not a gamble to have him there. This is Gale. Watkins again. Hudson just jogging over. Lachlan doing the tough stuff down the middle. Hudson again. Graham. Back it goes.
Got
to
him again.
Now they go. Widdop and Watkins and McGillivray looking for a track back on the inside. Dragged down just short on tackle 5. So the last play. Where's this going? Into the hands of Widdop. Puts the ball behind. There's a slow turn from Mitchell Mamari, the prop, but he has got down there. And he has got possession for his side again.
He's not in a bad play.
Penalty.
I'll just go back to that attacking play, Brian. Very deceptive here. Here's the kick again. It's you've got to remember it is fairly greasy here. Gee, this is a poor penalty here when you've got a team on the ropes like that. Really well held away. They disguise Gale swinging to the right-hand side behind Graham and O'Loughlin and to create the extra number over on that side. And I thought they should have got something out of that. You know, I thought McGillivray should score or Watkins should create something there.
Yeah, me too.
It's Nick Cassis with that original drive from the Blacktown Workers. Great club team, that isn't it? The Blacktown Workers made his debut against Scotland in a European Cup 7 or 8 years ago. Tim Manor has taken Lebanon as deep into the English half as they've been in this game, I think, so far. Elas brings it back. Sought out and tackled by James Graham. Play the ball. Clark, the dummy half. Here's Farah again. Kicking into space. McGillivray. And just rolls to the ground to keep himself in the field of play.
Do you know what? You're big and strong like Jermaine McGillivray. Your temptation and your urge is to run the ball. Yeah. But I thought he was real smart there. I thought he did the right thing. He found his front and made sure that England can at least ruck the ball out from their own line.
Well, we've seen Samoa today. They rushed at their wingers and they conceded points instead of, the main thing is get the ball in the infield.
So England with a few yards to make here. Bateman, it's a good carry from the second rower turn centre. And he'll get a penalty as well.
Yeah, I think it was the right call. That was a penalty. He'd found his front, he was away, and the Lebanon player dragged him back.
If you're wondering how Lebanon have reached this World Cup finals, they won at the Middle East / African playoff when they beat South Africa over 2 games in Pretoria back in October 2015. It's an unlikely rugby league tale, isn't it? The whole Lebanese story is an unlikely rugby league tale. Have a look on the BBC website, the rugby league page, for an explanation to the history of Lebanese rugby league. We'll be here till full time trying to tell you the full drift of it, so have a read for yourselves. But it is an encouraging rugby league tale nonetheless. This is Hill. It's an encouraging start from England. Graham, Ratchford was on the inside, he's gone right again and over the top. It's a forward pass.
And that's the element of execution, because they've created the numbers again and got everything right until that last bit there. Their last pass selection or execution of the pass has let them down, because that's 3 times I don't think James Graham's too happy about the fact that he's called it forward. He's going to have to live with that.
Well, they're 1 from 3 go on the right-hand side, and they've had 3 opportunities to score. We see this here again. Gareth's getting rushed. And look, after a while, with that player coming out and play that defender, they'll start to execute it. I tell you, the big play there was when Graham got the ball, Ratchford come flying up the middle of the field, and because Lebanon was so worried to get to the edge, they were all going sideways. I can see Ratchford going up the middle here shortly, like a la Slater does for Australia.
It was a big hole, you're right.
Dan, heading, Dan!
Whatever you do, don't call him the next Billy Slater. That's been a curse for many down the years, hasn't it?
They did that with Greg Eden, didn't they?
Greg Eden was the next Billy Slater, yeah.
Oh, did you? No, I didn't do it.
It was Nathan Brown. It was Nathan Brown who called him the next Billy Slater.
Sure it wasn't you, Basil?
No, mate, no.
Twell, Alex Twell has lost that. And he's had it reefed. 2 men in the tackle, so a penalty for Lebanon. That'll relieve the pressure that was growing on them.
That will, the element of improvement that we're talking about for England is being squeaky clean in the penalty. Now, the last 2 sets they've given penalties away, which gives Lebanon field position, and that element of finishing your sets on a high note. Finishing your sets, and we have 2 low note finishes offensively and penalties defensively.
Well, one of Wayne Bennett's big things last year about them, and with Sam Burgess in mind, he was very critical of the ill-disciplined penalties that go away. Elliot Whitehead then, he had to wrap up the ball. Don't worry about knocking it down. It was a lazy action for a team that hasn't had to make too much defending.
This is Manor. just over 30 metres away from where they want to be here. Lebanon trailing by that Callum Watkins try and Gareth Woodard goal, but in an encouraging position from their point of view at the moment. Michael Leisha on the field at dummy half. Here's Robbie Farah going left to Mitchell Moses, and on again to Cassis, winning his 14th cap, one of the most capped Lebanese players in this current side. They find themselves with 18 minutes gone. Less than 10 away. Robbie Farah with a kick. Oh, there's a juggle, there's a dive, and Cassis is going to claim that. I'd be very surprised if referee Ben Thaler wasn't going to the screen here. But they've already started the party.
I have a try on tackle 5.
That adds to the feeling of celebration, because on the field,
Thanks,
Ben Thaler gives the try. What does Phil Bentham say? He's our video referee tonight, by the way, Phil Bentham.
Okay, we're just going to check whether we've
Well,
got
just on that,
offside,
the English
please.
players look like they've conceded already, don't they? You know, they know if they've already grounded there. We've seen this a lot this weekend, some damp grounds and some night games, so there's been a lot more dew this time of year than we have in Australia normally.
Oh, looks good.
It's an
That's fine,
executed kick, outstanding. Yeah, Gareth's got to sort of wrap
Not
that
backwards.
up. He has double. Oh, that's a try. One hand, downward motion, control on the ball. They know the consequences, England.
It's backwards, just confirm the grounding. That's good. We have a decision. Going to the screen.
Don't think there's too much doubt about this. Nick Cassis of the Blacktown Workers is a try-scoring hero for Lebanon. They have responded in kind to that early Callum Watkins try, and boy, does that lift their spirits.
Well, that's on the back of what England have done. Huh? I mean, it's a terrific try, and I've got to talk about the Lebanon, the try. They looked organised, they moved the ball. Nick Cassis sprinted really, really well, because England couldn't clean up the Farah kick, because it was a great kick into the in-goal in these conditions. It's on the back of what England have done, not executing at the other end of the field, finishing the sets the way that they should, and then being ill-disciplined in defence. So the salutary lesson really early on in this game, and England need to be a bit more disciplined in the brain.
So Mitchell Moses looking to bring the scores level. He's put it where it needs to be. It's 6 points apiece with very nearly 19 minutes played.
If you're the two coaches at the moment, you'd be over the moon if you're Brad Fittler. They've defended for long periods. OK, someone was a bit clunky to defence and they create opportunities for England, but the scoreline 6-all, and they've had majority of the ball, England. And I'll keep coming back. That's the one thing Wayne Bennett said, that the English have got to get out of their game. Ill-disciplined penalties, and we've had 2 now, which have been pretty average ones. And that's it's just pretty simple, isn't it, Brian? You know, it's
not complicated.
Nah.
You invite Lebanon into your half, and there are chances anybody else with a kick play or in these kind of conditions. And with the weather the way there is, Brad Fittler himself talks about that element of luck, or the bounce of the ball, or get to the right ends of the field. And
well, I wonder how this is playing out in Beirut and Tripoli at the moment. We know they're getting live coverage of these pictures, this match. Their Prime Minister was tweeting about the victory over France last week, the first ever World Cup win for Lebanon. And if they are just switching on in Beirut at the moment, and look at that scoreline, 20 minutes played, 6-6, I think they take that. And they're encouraged here as Elas brings it forward. Michael Leisha, the hooker. The Bulldogs these days. The kick downfield from Robbie Farah. Ratchford off the bounce rather. McGillivray to bring it back. But they ganged up and they stop him on the 20-metre mark.
well, they'll give him a huge lift to bend their backs as well, the Lebanon. They're in position quickly from the kick. Found the kick, Moses, got them down the field. Group up now, Lebanon, and restrict this England goal forward.
Well, the outside backs doing some of the hard work here.
I will say something about Lebanon. Their bench is nowhere near as good as England. So this is when they've got to have their big shot before they change their bench, with the Manners and all those players have to come off, who are experienced NRL players, former Origin player Manor. So they've got to give it their best shot here, because their bench won't be as good as England's.
Well, here come England moving left. It's with Bateman.
He likes to pass as a centre, Bateman, doesn't he, Brian? You know, he's a back rower, you know.
He's a back rower, so it doesn't come naturally, that quick little hand onto the winger to release Hall. So what he does offer is he's a pretty decent ball carrier himself, and if you can put him in a little bit of space, he can run.
Gale's kick was taken well by Abu Sleiman. Trying to bash their way out of trouble here with Abbas Miski. Step away from Marbani. And Manly Sea Eagles under-20s player Bilal Marbani. Here's Jamie Clark. Pick up and a move forward by Leisha. It's a bit scruffy there. Robbie Farah's looking for the penalty. None forthcoming, so he decides to pick up, and a little chip and a chase here. And a knock forward by Ratsfield. The referee says play on. Another 6 tackles here as Alex Twirl takes it up to the 20-metre mark. And Lebanon are growing in confidence now.
Got some numbers here on the left-hand side as well.
6 to go as Watkins comes out to try and close things down. And does. Douay tackle. Manor driving it forward. England are in trouble here. They're being tested anyway. 6 apiece as Twirl takes it in again, and he made his debut in the NRL this year. Alex Twirl. Big things expected of him down the years. Farah goes left. There's a slip in defence. That's the last thing you need when Mitchell Moses has the ball in his hands. Having a look, seeing what's on. Mitchell Moses stretches the legs.
Wow.
But Bateman drags him down. He's
Talk
a star.
about waiting for a bit of danger.
Marbani back to Robinson. Robinson held up. 5 away. Leisha's in there. 6 tackle. They'll need a kick. Robbie Farah corkscrewing. It's not a good kick. And well, it was almost a good kick in the end. Douay coming in, but the catch by Watkins turns it into England's favour.
It was a competition for the ball. And they got a number. Oh, I thought they had numbers.
Yes,
it was a Lebanon player on his way back.
Yeah. Look, I don't think they've got the skill or the speed on the outside to beat England, but what they are very dangerous on their last tackle. You know, the kicks are on the spot. You know, they're going to have to really run people off the ball, England, because it's a very dangerous time on that last tackle when they're down that end of the park.
What's Wayne Bennett thinking at the moment?
You know what, he'd just be disappointed. He keeps everything very simple, Wayne. He'd talk about, your completion's all right, but I'm really dirty with the discipline, and I want some better execution on that right. I want your timing better, and I think he wants to acknowledge a little bit, and if you can't get your timing, adjust to the ruck.
Definitely. That little bit of adjustment in reaction to what the defenders are doing.
Well, Loughlin's pass away. Gale keeps it alive. It's swooped away by Widdop. Watkins is there, and then twisting away from the defender. He's creating a bit of space. McGilvray comes back in on the inside. And there's a huge corridor of opportunity waiting for him. Jermaine McGilvray scores again in an England shirt. And England lead again, 24 minutes into a nervy game.
It's that right-hand side again, and it all starts with O'Loughlin. He takes the ball deep in the line. He commits defenders. This is what we see Watkins doing. Run the ball. And then McGilvray. Every time he gets the ball, you feel like something's going to happen. And the stats show he does score a try in every test he plays and more. But that right side, they love going to. But obviously, O'Loughlin, the way he starts up, he's square, he's direct. He commits the first 3 defenders at the ruck. And then out the back to Widdop. And they can execute.
Well, you just need to give these 2 outside backs one-on-one opportunities. I'm talking about Watkins and McGilvray. And I think it's the offload from Gale that opens up this opportunity. They've created the numbers on the right, still don't quite execute. The winger tries to come in, Miski, and stop the play, and he just can't hold on to Callum Watkins, and that gets him a 2-on-1. It brings him back against the Graham McGilvray, and he'll score every day of the week from there.
So here's Widdop with what should be a simple kick, right in front of the sticks, just to the right, that's all. Referee stop the clock. Widdop's not taking time. Over it goes. 2 out of 2. 12 points to 6. England lead now. Hearts thumping has settled a little.
I think asked again what Wayne would be thinking at the moment, and Wayne straight away would be thinking, I want to see the next few sets as build pressure. I want to see us disciplined, but I also want to see us not concede tries. Most Wayne Bennett teams are one of the best defensive teams in the league because they don't score tries and they build pressure and they go very well in the last 20 minutes of games. That's where he wants to see at the moment. He wants to see experienced guys because, Brian, this is a very experienced England team. You have a look at some of the tests. They've all got 20-plus tests, a lot of them. You know, they can control the game without a coach having to send a message. They've got to take ownership.
I just don't know if it's that element of wanting to play football all of the time, and sometimes the element of boredom has to come in, where you've got to be at the right parts of the field and get your timing right and get your execution right, and not do. See, the 10-minute period where they let Lebanon back into the game, Wayne will be disappointed with.
You do that against Australia, New Zealand, Tonga, Samoa, all them. They've got big units that just keep coming at you. You've got to take the juice out of them.
Nixon's frustrated, wants to get on with it, and his appeals to the referee have been heard. Penalty. Sure what time it is over in England at the moment. We find it so difficult to calculate all the different time zones we're travelling through, but I know it's pretty early, so you may have missed the earlier scores. New Zealand 74, Scotland 6, and Samoa 32, Tonga 18, and big apologies if you're waiting for the BBC highlights programmes to watch those games. But,
shouldn't there be a spoiler alert there?
Well, it's everywhere on social media anyway these days, isn't it? Twitter, etc.
That's not an excuse, Dave.
No,
spoiler alert.
England in possession, looking to spoil Lebanon's party here. Got themselves back in the lead and looking for more. Watkins searching down that right-hand side. Here's McGilvray cutting back inside again. This time Farah has got a hold. Jason Webber, who's on for the interchange bench. Looking forward to see him. He's got a step, Jason Webber, watching some of his stuff. He's been playing in Japanese rugby union. I don't think he's played much this year in either code. Here's Bateman, and a pass away to Ryan Hall. McGilvray on one side, Hall on the other. Two wingers with real effect. And Ryan Hall's getting his try-scoring momentum up and running again, as long as the try is given.
Right, Phil, we have a try on tackle 3.
Well, Ben Taylor thinks it's a
make
try.
Sure there's no obstruction.
Yeah.
And
I think it's a try.
Just make sure the ball's
I think he wants to just check back here for instruction, because Gale gets the ball a long way back from the line, so I can't see how it could be instruction at all. Bateman's proven me wrong.
Yes,
He's
please.
had a pass for a try assist. Here we go. We're going to see if there's some instruction here.
He's got a lead run of 15.
Oh, he's way in front. In fact, you know, it's been poor lines.
There's nothing there.
You sure he's looking for obstruction?
That looks fine.
Yeah, he just
We'll
wanted
just
to check
confirm
it
the
there.
grounding.
He wanted to check it there. You know, Hall, he's such a big body. You know, a lot of wingers get pushed over the sideline, and
separation.
Oh, it's a
God.
separation. That's what they're looking at.
Okay,
That's no
can we have a
try.
look?
Oh, he's had some heartbreak,
a different
hasn't
angle,
he?
just to see if he still maintains his hand on the ball or if there's separation.
Well, nothing going to say his torso's grounded it.
Well, you've got to
a little
regain it
bit
before
slower
it hits
on
the
that one.
ground in
Yeah.
some capacity, and I'm not sure if he regains it. He has gone
At
try.
that point there, the ball is still in contact with the arm.
Yeah, he's going to give this.
Good to check.
Remember that
There.
controversial try that was
Hand
ruled
on the
out
ball,
in
hand on the
Melbourne
ball.
In Melbourne with the fingers.
with the fingertips.
Not a point there where I can confirm to say there's sufficient evidence to say that that hand comes off the ball. That point there. The ball is still on the left hand as far as I can see there on that vert. I'm happy with the decision. We're going to the screen.
I think he's going to give this. Ryan Hall, international phenomenon in terms of try scoring, has just made it try number 33 in this his 34th test appearance, and he's made it England 16, Lebanon 6.
Well, they went coast to coast on this place, which was pleasing for England. They had a crack at the right side and then came right the way across and back to the other side, and which enabled the one-on-one opportunity. One-on-one for Ryan Hall is good for teams. If you can create a one-on-one and you have a physical mismatch, it's good for a team, and that's what England did there. I think Robbie Farah's still complaining about the grounding.
Robbie's auditioning to become a video ref there, but isn't it great the way they explain it? You know, it's great for our audiences and the people educating them on rugby league and understanding why it was a try. Like when he went through it, I'm looking at his hand thinking, yeah, they didn't separate. He still had there, you know, he had to get the benefit of the doubt there. So it's great the way it's been educated.
By the way, if you're looking down and wondering who the number 23 is for Lebanon right now, it is Mitchell Moses, his number 6 shirt He's got some kind of damage to it, so they put him in a different strip. So now he wears the 23, and Widdop has put that wide. So 16 points to 6. England lead. Just under 30 minutes played.
Well, here's the pass play, and Loughlin's the architect in chief again. He gets the ball out to Gale. They've gone from one side of the field to the Bateman. Just gives the ball. Give the ball. He's done the right thing. Give the ball to Ryan Hall that close to the line, and he will finish like that.
Isn't that the value of O'Loughlin? It went from the 6 to the 13, a ball-playing 13. Not just a bloke who puts his head down, a ball-playing 13, then to the 7, and they play off it.
Tom Burgess on the field.
Yeah, he's such an asset for this England team. And if I'm sounding harsh in that middle period for England, you're right, because they're trying to get ready for the bigger teams when the quarterfinals are similar. And you're right, Ian, if you're playing Australia and New Zealand, you give those kind of stats out and throw them that kind of ball, they'll hammer you. Tonga would.
Remember, 3 teams qualify from this group of 4 that also includes France and Australia. The French have had 2 defeats at the moment, so they are favourites not to go through. England would expect now to finish 2nd. Lebanon expect to finish 3rd, all things being equal. It's hard to work out who, what, where and when, but the likely quarter-final opponents for England at the moment look like being Papua New Guinea or Ireland. Those 2 play tomorrow in Port Moresby. Whoever wins that will be favourites to face England in the quarter-finals. And as it stands, you would say that Lebanon, who are favourites to finish 3rd in this group, are likely to play New Zealand or Tonga in Wellington in the quarter-finals. Nobody's thinking about that on the field at the moment, which is just as well. It's all very complicated. There's Webber. Has had the ball stolen. No, he's not. He's lost it. Clean lost it. Jason Webber.
I think England's vigour is starting to show, and their energy and being top of them. You know, we're 20, 30 minutes into the game now, and he's certainly had it knocked out, and every Lebanese fan in the ground is blowing up.
He's a former Parramatta junior, is Jason Webber, and Brad Fittler was, quite interesting talking about a lot of these players who said as young players, if they'd hung around at these NRL clubs long enough, they could have really made it in the game, but a lot of familial pressure to get them in trades and industry. And so a lot of them have gone into being electricians and into the building industry all around Sydney. In fact, 1 or 2 of them actually went to work this week when they got a day off from training.
Well, the really pertinent point that Ian makes about the England bench, we're beginning to see that now. I think Tom...
there's a gap, and there's a try for Ben Curry, and he opens his try-scoring account for England. Debut last week when he played against Australia, 2nd cap tonight, and he scores his first international try.
That's where Hodgson's lethal. Down a short side, picking up his back rower, dragging that A defender, the first defender next to the ruck. He's very good at that. You get him down a short side, he can absolutely blow you apart. The good thing is Curry read it. He was up nice and flat, and he accepted it. And that's where Hodgson has made a name for himself in the NRL. More on the open side. I think where me and you are both of the same opinion is that we could get some more ball off the ground for early ball from the people on the open side.
He's a star in the making, isn't he, Ben Curry?
He's got size, he's got speed, he's
skill.
Yeah,
attitude, really good attitude.
He can kick. Have you seen him kick a ball, a short kick?
What are you, his agent? You're putting his value up all the time.
Always.
And here's Widdop.
And he makes a good cup of tea, I'm told.
And Gareth Widdop, who's spent the last 9 or 10 years living in Australia when his family emigrated here. And his time off from his club season, and before he joined up with England, he had a great big tattoo, 2 big tattoos on his chest, one a lion and the other one a knight, and he's got his England squad number 701 tattooed on his wrist as well.
Well, there's how Basil's explained. That's Hodgson picking out not the marker and the A defender, the first in defender from that side of the field on a short side, and Curry all he has to do is hold his line and be patient, let Hodgson get there, attract that defender, and it gives him an open space to run through.
I think for any young boys watching the game too, the way coming up from dummy half low, but two-hand carry, it's a bit like the gun's loaded, ready to pass, defender turns his body in, he passes it.
Nice little footwork there as well from Luke Gale to trap that ball. And Alex Walmsley's on for his England debut as well. Missed that last week because of illness.
Well, this is a big moment for England, Dave. Alex Walmsley's been patient in relation, had a bit of virus last week, couldn't get on the field. I'm really interested to see how he goes in this competition in general, because I think he could be a huge bonus for England.
6 minutes of the half. Oh, it's a knock-on. Oh, it's a penalty.
You've gone back on the ball and stuffed the ruck up.
Josh Hodgson will be mighty relieved about that.
Yeah, I think the referee's saying that he went
He's gone
back into the ruck and messed it up.
He's gone back on the ball, mate. Mate, that's a clear difference. He has gone back on the ruck. No, he's lost the ruck. He's gone back on the ball.
Last set down here, penalty, try, we're getting the same again. That wear and tear from early in the game, Brian, you know, I mean, you're talking about some of these guys a little bit part-time. That's where it takes away their energy levels and their concentration, and they start doing things to make things easier, but it puts more pressure on the team.
Here's Ryan Hall out of dummy half inside, and Walmsley keen to get involved. Hodgson, Gale's inside ball again. 4 defenders dragged to the middle. Hodgson goes right, then comes left, and here's Walmsley. Biggest meter maker in Super League last year. Hodgson, little step, Widdop searching, thought he saw glory, just felt a couple of shoulders bang into his ribs instead. Hodgson spins it on the 6th, Gale has it, the kick is not the best, and Mitchell Moses in that number 23 jersey is there to collect.
So I think that's a poor finish to his set. They had needed to give himself a little bit more space and execute the kick play better there, but he's gone on the line and closed his holes down in effect. Too many defenders in his way, and he just ricocheted off a Lebanon defender.
It's a good effort in defence here though from England, isn't it? That's tackle 3. Abbas Miski put down on his backside. Has to play it as quickly as possible, but on the 4th, England's defenders coming out and off their line quick. So 4 tackles used up. They've not gone too far forward. And when the winger Robinson gets involved, there's not too much on for him either, so they're going to have to kick here. Moses gets it away. McGilvray waits for the kind bounce. England are going to start at the very least close to the halfway line.
It's not on the halfway line there. There it is.
Ratchford. Hall.
2 movements, Jason!
You can almost feel the fatigue being felt by the Lebanese players at the moment. England on top.
Robbie,
Time for another try before half-time. They're in the mood for it. Ratchford to Watkins. Watkins makes a bit of space, but can't get on the outside of Dewey, who gets the tackle in. But 2 tackles to go here for England, and they're less than 10 away. Spun back towards the middle again now. Offered on the inside to Walmsley. Dummy show, not ball. Good effort by Clark, the defender. Hodgson goes down. So 1 play to go with Widdop waiting to marshal. Gale again, the chase is on. It ricochets. He's going to be picked up by Miski. And just for a moment it looked as though, in fact it was Marbani, I do apologise, who could have gone the distance.
Yeah, for the one that sounded like a broken record here. An element of improvement, he's got to find a better kick than that.
Well, he had a dress rehearsal on the ruck before.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, on the set before down there.
Lebanon 25-1 against with the bookies before the match began. 22-6 against at the moment in terms of scoreline as the half-time looms. 2.5 to go. Pick up by Lisha. You can probably pick out the Lebanese supporters in the background. 200,000 strong community in Sydney. quite a few of them here today. And here comes Moses with a run, but not the pass.
He'd done the hard work. He'd beaten, created an opportunity. There was a 3-on-2 there, and he tries to go over the wing and give it to the next bloke.
Yeah.
He'd done the hard work. Mitchell Moses there, you have to say. Great beating of the first defender, did everything right, but that final play.
And interesting, because the English defence was backpedaling because they were short on numbers. It's great to see him come up with some enterprise, because it was last tackle and they were just going to get that kick down and we're under pressure again. But, yeah, execution.
Wait here, boys. Wait, boys. Go.
He's had some runs early, Walmsley, hasn't he? He's really rolled the sleeves up and wants to make an impact.
Execution. Sounds like a rather macabre daytime TV show, that, doesn't it?
It's like one of those clown films you keep wanting me to watch there.
Here's Harrington.
3 minutes! Wait with me, please, don't go early. Wait here, boys, wait here with me.
25 away, England. With it. And now Ratchford. See Luke Gale trying to organise things here. Hodgson goes down that right-hand side. A little kick and a chase. That's a good one into the in-goal area. It's fumbled. And has Abu Slayman done enough to finish it? Or is it Elliot Whitehead who gets the last word here?
Well, it's certainly a better last play, so we'll listen to the video's referee's version of events today.
No try.
And Ben Taylor thinks it's no try.
Before the Englishman's grounded it, Phil. There he's made the ball dead. Can we just check that, please?
Okay, will do. Thank you. Check whether they're onside. That's all good, thank you. So the initial point there, he has knocked on, and it looks like he's grounded the ball. Thank you. So there's a knock on there. I think the other angle was probably better, just to confirm that after the knock on he has grounded the ball. There, and at that point it was better on the first angle because it showed it clearly before the England player got there. There and there was downward pressure on the ball. We've got a decision.
Well, he's got away with it in part. The original fumble, though, will cost Lebanon a dropout underneath the sticks. And with a minute to play here, that is plenty. There is time for a full set here for England. And in going to the video referee, the clock has been stopped automatically, so that will be a full minute.
Your touches are in position.
Well, I like the kick. I like the kick, and maybe with a bit of vision, if he dinks it over to McGilvery, it's a score. But I like the thought process of the kick in relation to the last 3 kicks. So.
Yeah, well, the worst case result, they're going to get a repeat set. So that's a great result. But yeah, you're right. McGilvery was hugging that white line, and he had the hand up saying, a little bit wider, Gareth. I'm in for another one.
Okay, mate, when you're ready. Let's go, guys.
Well, they're getting some oxygen back in lungs here, ready for this final wave of attack from England at the end of this first half, which has been, what, a 7 out of 10 for England, would you say? Get your thoughts on that in just a second, because here they come, blasting forward.
One, move right! Line boys, please, wait here, Jamie. Jamie, wait.
Burgess being slowed down by Mujali, the Canterbury Bankstown prop in the New South Wales competition, the New South Wales Cup.
Here, please, boys.
Here's Hodgson going right, further right. Watkins looking for the angle, looking for the try line, and finding neither. Shoulders rest on the wrong bit of whitewash from his point of view. And the attack back on the 20.
Yeah, on the 20, guys.
He's done well there, he, hasn't he?
Yeah, I'd like to see a replay of that, because you're
Like Watkins every day of the week,
yeah.
10 seconds left to play in this first half.
Move! Wait a minute, please. Wait, go.
Lebanon had their moment, didn't they, back in the 18th minute when Nick Cassis scored that try. But it has been mostly English moments in that first half. 22 points to 6, not the perfect performance. I think we're going to hear from Tim Manor, the Lebanese prop forward, in just a minute, who's down there with Brett Kamali. We're going to grab a word with him. So let's go down there in just a second. The English players are coming off. So let's hear from Tim Manor.
Well, Timmy Manor, the first 20 minutes, it seemed like a contest, and then you just lost control of the game. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I think we just got to be better at responding to when things don't go our way. There's a few things that we would like to go differently, and we've just got to be better at responding to that. I thought the game's a bit closer than what the scoreboard shows, but it's another 40 minutes to go.
There is another 40. Good luck the second half.
Thanks, mate. Tough.
Also got Ryan Hall, the English winger. 20 minutes of a really tough challenge, and then 20 minutes of dominance from you guys.
Yeah, it's true. We had to try to focus on ourselves, and we knew Lebanon had a really gutsy start in them, and that's what they did. Trying to manage the conditions is pretty difficult as well.
Your thoughts on obviously changing momentum? You got that control now?
Yeah, it seems that way, but I know that at half-time they're going to get a bit of a rest, and it'll be the same as the first 20 minutes again. The Lebanon are going to really come out and give some gutsy, show some real spirit there.
Good luck the second half.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.
Well, if your mind has been drifting to having chips and gravy during that first half, you might not have been paying close attention to the actual game. So here are all the stats for you. England have 60% of the possession compared to the Lebanese 40%. But if you go right down to the bottom, there's not much difference really in the penalties and the errors. 5 errors made by Lebanon, 4 errors made by England. Robbie Hunter-Paul, you were on the 5 Live this morning and you called it exactly how it's been. 20 minutes of it being fairly balanced and then England going through the gears.
Yeah, of the so-called experts, I think we all have that same feel.
Yeah, but
it's always going to be a wrestle.
You said it.
To be honest, I was listening to Brian Noble and Dave Woods on the drive down, and they said it first, so I can't claim that.
Oh right, okay.
Well, I will.
Yeah. They're not listening to this bit. They're out in Australia. You claim the credit.
It's to be expected, and to be honest, I think actually England allowed Lebanon to be really as good as they were in the opening 15-20 minutes. I think they could have been a little bit more ruthless, what Kevin said at the beginning of the game, what England needed to be. Probably just punch more holes in them, starve them of the ball a little bit more, make them tire a little more in the middle of the park. And I think they started to play a little bit quick for Lebanon, and they started to become a little bit loose around the seams and got away from their game plan a little bit. But they got back into it, and obviously the talent in that England squad, too good. Tries being scored.
Yeah, I think the goal for class, will shine through. I think, they've 2 poor penalties which gave Lebanon field position, but also they've made about 70 or 80 more tackles. That'll come into effect later on in the second half. But yeah, I think it's they've been okay. I still question the last kick on the 6th tackle. That's got to be improved for the upcoming games. But they'll be happy with that score, and I think they're in control. And so the line speed when Lebanon had the ball a little bit, the line speed was a little bit slower. But they'll be happy with that score, and I think they'll go on and put 50 past Lebanon now.
As last week against Australia, England's right is proving quite fruitful, isn't it? And that's where the first try came from with Callum Watkins.
Yeah, it's almost a carbon copy of what we saw last week with the McGilvery try, and it's the subtleties of O'Loughlin on this play. That's the value of him playing in that middle zone for us. He's almost like an extra half-back in a forward's body, and he can carry the ball, but he'll go right into the teeth of it.
And this was last week.
Same play to Widdop, and Widdop just finds a different pass today. Ratford hands on, and we get a nice early score.
I think it's worked so well for them. Look so comfortable. Loughlin, in there as a ball player. I think they've created so much space. A little bit, and the wingers are coming in and spotting them. The inclusion of the full backs where Ratford have gone out wide is very good. I just think they've got to keep their depth a little bit. There are a couple of more occasions where they created the opportunities, and I think that's where Wayne Bennett and the coaches will be happy. The opportunities are being created. They've just got to be a little more clinical and hold their depth a little bit and be aware of the winger coming in. So they'll be very happy with their play, except for that last kick. I don't think they switch off. They get into a field position, but if they can say, right, we need to get a repeat set. That's what they should try and work for, or hang it up there because of how good our wingers are in the air.
I've been in these games myself where you're blowing a team apart, and the thing that becomes hard about their final play is sometimes you get lost when, oh, have we scored? Have we? Oh, we've still got a play to go. And then you jump back into it next minute. It's almost been instinctual. You're just trying to pop it through. And I think a little bit more composure in the halves. The second half, especially the guy that's involved with the play, just make sure that you give yourself a little bit more time and set up that last play to get a strong and fruitful defensive start.
Let's take a look at the Lebanon try, which was scored by Nick Cassis, which brought them level, Robbie.
Yeah, definitely. This is where England, one of the few times England allowed them back into their own half. And of course, in any game of rugby league, the opposition is going to get their say. And right here, Lebanon, I think there was a period of about 3 to 5 minutes where Lebanon had the upper hand. Numbers coming through, taking opportunities when they could, and you could see that how delighted they were when they scored that try. And it's almost nearly an opportunist try, though well-structured opportunist try. That ball could have gone to, if Gareth Widdop had been a little bit more on slung, he probably would have popped it back into that hole a little bit more. Maybe McGilvery coming off and covering it around the back as well. So
if he doesn't get the touch, they cover it. It's sometimes, when you make a desperate effort like a goalkeeper to try and claim it, once it takes the pace off it, the full back and the winger then just lose out on it. So, and it creates an opportunity for them. But I think they'll be very happy, Kevin, with the performance. Yeah. A little bit sloppy sometimes. The game gets a little bit loose as a forwards. Instead of doing your job, trudging up the middle, making hard yardage, it's a little bit easier. So they try and offload. Yeah. But they'll be happy with it.
I think if we're going to concede a score, it'd be from a try like that. If Wayne Bennett could select the type of try that we conceded, it'd be off a kick play like that where we're very close to grounding it ourselves. I think what's highlighted for me from that first half is the fluency of our right edge. So we've got Widdop, Whitehead and Watkins. Yep. As a lot of experience played together on a number of occasions now. We're on the left edge, we've got Bateman, Curry, who's making his second start, and Gale, who's still quite young and inexperienced in this role.
Go back to the right side and talk us through Jermaine McGilvery's first half then. You highlighted him pre-match.
Yeah, again, he just gets us forward all the time, always lands on his front, which, for the viewers who are watching, basically that means we get a quick play of the ball and it means we're on the front foot, so we're attacking them as their line is still getting set. And that
puts them on England on the front foot, doesn't it?
Yeah, and when we have kick chase like that, it's a big sign of enthusiasm. Here he finishes really, really well. He does his job. I think he's been outstanding again. And let's have it right. If we're looking at our performance here, would we have taken 22-6 at half-time? Absolutely. We're an English sporting team in a World Cup. Have we ever done it easy as a nation? Have we ever had a World Cup where we've gone through swimmingly and it's been all singing, all dancing? It hasn't. Today is a potential banana skin, and I think we will. Jonathan mentioned it. I think we'll kick on the second half.
Let's just show you the Ryan Hall and the Ben Curry tries as well, which have given England a bit of breathing space.
Yeah, and we were talking about how the left side seems a little bit disjointed, and because they scored 2 tries down this left edge, you may think, well, you've been a bit harsh there. But that's a simple play. That's one thing. If I was being particular, I would have liked John Bateman to square up a little bit earlier and given Ryan Hall a little bit more space to work with. A little bit iffy on the put down, actually, with Ryan Hall going to ground. But for me personally, I think he had his ring finger and his little finger on it. I was trying to convince Kevin of that, but Kev said he'll take it. But again, I think Ian Millwood pointed out Hodgson jumping down the short side. He does this week in, week out for Canberra. He spotted the opportunity, numbers there, and Curry coming on a great line. Just that's not that easy to do. Curry's got to be able to read Hodgson, got to be able to know that he's going to jump, and he needs to stay flat. Normally he's a little bit deeper to get that wind up, but if he sees the opportunity, he's got to come flatter and make sure that he puts himself into space.
And also, yeah, it's a good line by Curry, but also I think when the difference between Bateman and Watkins appreciates space out there and he knows what to do, and then he beats the man on him and gives it. Sometimes with Bateman, he's just got to have the confidence to give it early. If you give it early to the winger, someone like Ryan Hall, and then support him, because if you're looking at, there's a mismatch there. Ryan Hall is about 4 stone, everything is opposite number, right? He's going to have problems handling him and he can offload back. So I think that's the call, the left-hand side call.
And the important thing in this discussion, because people might be going, hang on, England winning 22-6, so we're happy with this. But the important thing is you're looking at the tournament as a whole here. And certainly within the England camp going forward, they will be looking at the difference between left and right, yes?
If we're going to win a World Cup, we need to have a threat on both sides of the field. Currently, we have a really big, strong threat on the right edge. I'd like to see us second half attack a bit more down our left edge. We can practice drill after drill and train them as much as we want, but in a game situation, we need to keep testing our left edge out and keep giving them the ball, let them find the way through it.
OK. Well, following a heavy defeat in their opening game to Papua New Guinea, Wales have relocated from Port Moresby. They're now in the equally tropical Townsville. Jonathan's laughing already because he has been and played there. That's in North Australia. We can hear from the Wales head coach, John Keir.
We're looking now forward to the contest on Sunday evening against Fiji, where we start at 50-1 underdogs, so we really are the underdogs as perceived by the media in general, but especially the media perhaps in Australia. They don't see us as viable opposition for the team that we're playing on the weekend, and you know, if you look at our performance against Papua New Guinea, you might see some merit in that, because we're coming up against Jared Haynes, against Uarte, against the NRL top scorer Vunivalu, and obviously Nagama, who's a star player at West. So we're coming against some absolute quality, who are in good form.
The kick by Seguiaro, and David Mead goes in for number 3.
Any professional athlete or anybody involved in an elite sport, you don't want to be told that you're not that good. So. You know, it's bound to upset you, it's bound to motivate you, and obviously we'll see what happens on Sunday, but I'm certainly expecting a vast step up in performance. The perceptions of our group aren't very high at the minute, so it's up to us to attempt to change that, and a good performance on Sunday evening, I believe, will go some way towards that.
You get the sense, don't you, listening to that interview, that he will use, Jonathan Davis, the 50-1 odds as a way to motivate his Wales players ahead of that Fiji game.
Yeah, when I spoke to John, you know, doing the Super League final, and I knew they were playing in Townsville and Port Moresby, I just told him to pack the suntan cream, right, because it is so hot and humid, and to play against the Papua New Guinea, I played there with Great Britain, where, you know, we lost in the test up there, but also it's such a crazy rugby league place. It's unbelievable, and listening to a couple of the players saying that they've enjoyed the whole experience apart from the game because they're like superstars there. I played in a game there where the crowd was so, you know, big that they had to shoot tear gas to calm them all down, you know, and we had to lie on the floor for the tear gas to clear and then, you know, restart the game again. So it's a unique experience, you know, not like they're used to know in Super League. And now they're going to Townsville, we're thinking, oh, that'd be a little bit better. You know, it's just going to be as hot there, and they're playing against the Fijian side who love the sun on their backs, and it's going to be equally as tough. So, you know, if they come away with a good score and trying to keep the score down, no disrespect to the Welsh side, but at the moment, you know, they are looking at...
Do you think that's what it is for them tomorrow?
I think you're looking at the influx of the NRL players to the, you know, the Pacific Islands, and they've strengthened them incredibly so. And, you know, I think defensively they'll be a lot better, because against Papua New Guinea, I think they were, you know, they were caught in shock. Look, they just kept on coming, and they couldn't handle them. They'll have to front up. If they front up, you know, hopefully it'll be a better contest. If they don't front up and you allow those backs to play, they're in big trouble. But, you know, two tough places to go and play in that heat.
And Jonathan's right, isn't he, Kevin? You know, the dynamic has changed in the strength of sides, and you know, Fiji are stronger and Wales arguably weaker.
Yeah, I think probably what we've seen is the difference between this World Cup and the last. The number of NRL players is in those sort of lesser nations, shall we call them? I mean, Fiji obviously aren't, but probably their spread of NRL players has increased. Whereas we look at the Welsh side, their spread of NRL and Super League players has probably decreased from the last World Cup. So Fiji are stronger, Wales are weaker, and it's a really tough ask for them in this game against Fiji, who performed outstandingly well against USA last week.
Highlights of that tomorrow afternoon on BBC Two with Tanya and the team. Kevin says he wants to see more down the left side in this second half. What do you want to see from England in the second half?
Actually, one interesting element to it is George Williams is on the bench. Now, he plays traditionally on the left side with Wigan, and he's a running half-back. Luke Gale likes to play more of a passing game, a little bit deeper. Be interesting to see where they bring George Williams on to play, if it is down their left flank, and what difference he can make.
I'd like to see him just take it up the middle again, absolutely batter into you know, the Lebanese forwards, and then release it a little bit to soften them up and then go wide again. And you know, as I said, I expect a 50-plus score from England.
Okay, the teams are back out, as you can see. Grab yourself some chips and enjoy the second half. Here's Ian Millwood, Brian Noble and Dave Wood.
Happy 60th, Dave.
Thank you very much, Jonathan. Chips? That early in the morning in England? And we obviously don't touch chips at all, do we? In this part of the world.
This part of the world.
Just the pies.
Seafood.
What are you expecting in this second half then? We heard from the boys in the studio what they're expecting. What would you like to see from an England perspective?
The element of discipline and ruthlessness to crack the middle first. You know, we've got some big boys around England, and that's what Lebanon won't be used to, because they'll not go away the English middle. And at the end of the day, once you've cracked their middle, the opportunities on both sides of the field. I've heard our studio talking about the left and the right. Well, both sides of the field will become a whole lot easier, and that element of execute and tidying up the kicking play.
I'll tell you what I'm looking for. I'm looking for George Williams to come on and play hooker, because when Roby come on last week, he was direct and he really caused some problems Australia in the ruck area, and that's what Williams will do. He'll pick the ball up, he'll be very direct, he'll cause problems for the Lebanese forwards, who are tiring.
This is an iconic stadium for British Rugby League fans to watch on from afar, or even inside the ground as well. The Sydney Football Stadium, the Allianz Arena as they call it these days. It was a setting 11 years ago today, this very day, 11 years ago, when Brian Noble's Great Britain beat Australia here. Wow, what an occasion that was. And can England beat Australia again in this part of the world in 4 or 5 weeks' time? Well, a lot of rugby league to be played between now and then, but that is certainly what this English side has got their sights on. Steadying of the ship against the Lebanon. 22 points to 6 they lead, but Lebanon looking to lift their energy levels in the early stages of this second half. It's going to be a kick here from Farah. McGilvray has a look. Good kick. McGilvray's got some work to do. Decent chase. McGilvray tries to run over the top of Webber, but more are there to make sure that England start from deep inside their own half.
Well, good start from Lebanon. Great kick from Farah as well. Over the head of McGilvray, so he's got to retrieve 15 metres and count the ball back. Oh, a bit of a scuffle on here or something.
Bit of a stash, as they say. Is that what they say? It's a hold-up in play anyway.
Rule number one, you don't give up the ball when you have it, through ill-discipline. So you'd be disappointed was England initiating it when they got the ball.
Robbie Farah's pointed to his arm. He's not happy with something here. What's he complaining about here? This is the referee's camera, by the way, that we're looking at. Now, what's he seen here? Robbie Farah and McGilvray in the first instance.
Okay.
Well, Farah's put his face in put his hand in McGilvray's face.
Yeah. Have we got anything?
But was there anything before that? Refereeing by committee here, I think, because referee's asking to see if there was anything that his partners on the touchline have seen.
You do? Right, let's just wait there, please. I need the ground manager on, please. Wait, listen to me. Rob, just a minute. Leg guy, I don't need you. Elliot, go over there. I don't need you. Go over there. Go over there.
Well, apologies if he picked up any language there, but it's all getting a little heated.
Well, I think Robbie Farah's alleging something.
Yeah.
He clearly instigates pushing McGilvray in the face, but I think he's saying that something's happened on the floor.
Well, he's thrown a punch which is connected with McGilvray's head. There's a push in the face.
Okay. It doesn't matter, mate. You don't bite.
He's a bite. He's alleging a bite.
Right, we've got an allegation of a bite, Mark. Robbie, come here and listen to me, please. We dealt with the situation. The incident's going on report. And we're going to tackle one.
Well, he's alleging a bite by Jermaine McGilvray.
Here. Callum, you're playing the ball.
No evidence of that from what they've seen on the screen, so they're just going, there's not a penalty, it's just play on. but they will have a look at that. They'll review that. He's put it on review, put it on report, so they will have a look at that in the week. What do you make of that, Emil?
Oh, I don't think he's got a problem. Look, there was a period there. Robbie initiated with a push on the head, and then he kept everything away, Jermaine. Yeah, I thought his mouth nearly got caught up there, might have come across there, but he wasn't deliberate or anything. I thought it was a pretty low act in the World Cup to sort of get all that sort of controversy caught up by Robbie.
And Farah threw a punch there as well, didn't he, in the NRL? He'd have been in the bin for that automatically, but rules slightly different in his World Cup. Referee's discretion on that. And Jermaine McGillvray shaken, but hopefully not overstirred. There's a kick from behind the 40, but it's never really going anywhere near the touchline. Lebanon have possession here. Abbas Miski of North Sydney bringing it back and tackled on the 30-metre mark. So a strange start to this second half.
Well, a little bit of handbags as such, and element of controversy. I'm with you. I think McGillvray went nowhere near him, but Robbie Farah was trying to buy themselves a penalty. That's a big shot.
Well, he's got the ball.
And he's got the ball back.
Yeah, he's got the ball.
That's a physical shot. Getting off your line, throwing your body at the defender. And the reason you can do it, they're so one out coming out of their half, Brian, so they give you a chance to have a shot at them. That's why they've struggled. But Walmsley wants to show he can be an international player with that physicality about him.
Yeah, he showed great speed for a big man to
Well, we're having a look
there.
at the bite there. Have a look at this. Is there evidence there of a bite by Jermaine McGillvray? That's what the Australian director here is showing us on that replay.
Starting to come up with more and more coverage, isn't it? You know, I mean, like, I think I might just keep my mouth shut.
Maybe he should have kept his mouth shut. But now we've got this to sort out. There's a lot of talk.
We're here, please. Just watch him when this ball's left his scrum.
There's a few verbals going on between these two teams.
Stay on the 10, guys.
The referee's camera as well, aren't we? We're right in the middle of the action here. Anyway, England's head and feet. Let's hope it settles down into a game of rugby league again. 3.5 minutes of the second half play.
Wait me, please. Wait here.
England looking to resume the rhythm they had at times in that first half. Hayington.
To move, Jason.
Hodgson.
Michael, squared up. Go.
30 metres away. Looking left. Walmsley has it again here, crashing in.
3, move, Ray.
Always a handful.
How we come, Ahmed. Wait here.
Hodgson,
Go.
as the ball is played. Swung back again. Widdop. And it comes to Whitehead. This is a step, a shimmy by Watkins and the offload. And Whitehead is wrapped up instantly by those two Lebanese defenders. One of them, Robbie Farah. The ball is played again. Watkins inside. High reach and stretch from Widdop. Looking to strain things up through Hayington.
I reckon there are a chance if they go left here, England. If he didn't play the ball quicker than he did. Readjusted the Lebanese.
Let's play. Widdop with a kick to the in-goal area. That's a decent one that needs dealing with and is, in the end, by the fullback Abu Slayman, but the referee has seen a shoulder charge. And he's given a penalty to England here.
You're correct there, Brian. They had 2 rucks in a row there. They could have went to the left, but they're fairly obsessed with the right because Hodgson is probably dominated by Widdop, and yeah, has been taken out of play. It's a fair result. Got to get a little bit more vocal on that left side, haven't they? You know, especially Gale, and when Ratchford was over there, they've got to demand the ball a little bit more.
So England set fair here, 5 from where they want to be. Up to his feet eventually Burgess will get, with the help of a penalty again from the referee. It's really scratchy at the start of this second half. Now Walmsley, on debut, over the line, but pushed back again by the weight of defenders. Slowish with a play the ball. So that's left-hand side, but quickly read by Mitchell Moses, getting all over Luke Gale. Making the tackle count. Hodgson again. Curry helps it on. Bateman. The battering ram approach. Held at 5 away. Here comes Hodgson. Spun back towards the middle again. Gale and Widdop. Ratchford stepping away, or trying to step away from Dewey, but the centre holds his man. Hodgson. Whitehead's pass goes to ground. It's a forward pass as well. And Lebanon.
But it's a little bit like a carbon copy of the first half, wasn't it? A little bit out on the timing and the execution, and not quite finding the players, and a little bit scruffy around the ruck, which suits the Lebanon, and then a mismatch on the fringe there with the pass. And but they're at the right end of the field, England.
Yeah, you know what they've probably got to do, Brian, is send a warning to Lebanon, even if it's on about the third or fourth tackle. They're rushing so hard from the outside. Just put the ball in behind. The worst case scenario, you're going to get a repeat set. They'll ease back a little bit if they know you're going to keep kicking in behind and the fullback can't get there in the winger.
Tim Manor about to come back on. We just saw a shot of Brad Fittler, and just in front of him, Gary Schofield, former Great Britain standoff centre.
A couple of decent players there.
Referee's called a time off here because there's some treatment needed for Jamie Clark.
Time's off. We're gonna sort him out. Yeah.
Referee Ben Thaler trying to sort things out here. I think it's going to be a head check here for Jamie Clark, isn't it? He'll get the 15 minutes for the full assessment. It's not looking too good at the moment.
Let's get going, please. Let's get going, please.
He could do with those 15 minutes. But Lebanon get the feed here. Robbie Farah puts it in, and scrum breaks up. And the Cedars looking to bring it forward. Leisha with a distribution. 12 with a drive. 3 English forwards are there. Walmsley, Hyington and Burgess. 14, 15 and 16. Almost a full house on the interchange bench. Farah running it across here. Moses gets it out to Douay. Good carry. Over the 40. But they're on the last again here. And in fact, they've still got a couple of tackles to go. Miski will take it in. That's the 5th. So here they now find themselves on the last. With Farah getting it away. Mitchell Moses dummies the kick, takes the run, offloads, keeps it alive. It's into the hands of Leisha here. He does put the boot away. And I think it's going dead. It is. It'll be a tap back on the 20. But just a glimpse there of Mitchell Moses, the player. He doesn't mind taking a risk, does he?
Well, I think it's if you spook him. There was great kick pressure. I think it was from Hodgson, but he was on his own. And Mitchell Moses wants that kind of thing because he'll beat anybody one-on-one. He does, and then he's into the backfield, so you have to be real careful.
Well, he scored from that chip and chase against the French, didn't he? And his coach, Brad Fittler, said it was like he was 16 again, you know, not thinking, just taking a risk, and it came off. And every now and again, that's good to see. Here's Bateman now, support on his left, but he doesn't get the pass away. Gale. England looking to get back in position again. Ratchford. 8.5 of the second half played. Pick up by Hodgson, and on its way with Curry, and back it comes to Walmsley, who drives it giant-like down the middle. Hodgson. Gale. Widow delays, then puts the kick in. It's a little bit of footwork. He's offside, though. Here's Elliot Whitehead. Neat footwork from the Bradfordian, but he was just ahead of the kick.
Had the right idea. Trouble is, he wasn't kicking for his back rower, Elliot Whitehead. He wanted to kick for his centre and his winger on the sideline, which if he could have got it there, was on.
Here's Abbas Miski. Scored a hat-trick against Malta as a standoff, did Abbas Miski last year, so he's clearly a player of some roles. And they're making decent ground here. Ahmad Elaz is back to the 30-metre mark. Leisha to the middle. Moses. Douay. Defenders gathering around him and looking for the touchline, and a big win for the English defence. And they will get the ball back. High fives all around.
Yeah, they'll be thrilled with that. Elliot Whitehead and Callum Watkins have not only solved the problem, but they're creating an opportunity for England. Really positive. They stop the ball, hold Douay up, and this leg drive him out of the sideline.
Ex-Aussie schoolboys rugby union player Adam Douay. With South Sydney these days. Playing in the centres, but I think he feels more comfortable in the halves.
Okay, boys. Where we are. Heads in. Dan, head in.
England's head and feed. Remember the group stage is concluding next weekend. England up against France in Perth, and if temperatures have dropped here, 15, 16 degrees at the moment, they are red hot in Perth. England are going to have to acclimatise very quickly. They're up in the high 30s, we're told, at some stages next week. But a job to do here, first of all. 22-6, 10 minutes, 11 minutes of the second half play. Still looking for the first score. Hyington. Burgess. Big brother George, a couple of weeks away from returning. Big brother Sam, I should say, a couple of weeks from returning to the England side. Here's Walmsley. Hodgson. Gale. Kick and a chase for Ryan Hall. Travis Robinson should have it covered and does, but he's not taking any risks. And he'll concede a dropout underneath the sticks.
I like it. Constructive, patient set. Great carry early on from McGilvery, backed up by Burgess and Walmsley. Widdop finds a terrific kick to finish. They get the ball back now in attacking position.
They've got the size, England, haven't they, to go through the middle and then create some space. And that's what they're going to emulate where Australia are really good. They can match Australia there, but that's where Cronk and, you know, if you look at probably Smith from dummy half and that, they really come up with a precise action at the end of it. And that's where the two halves for England have got to step up to the mark.
I did Luke Gale a disservice there. It was Gale with the kick at the end, not Widdop.
Yep.
Here's Burgess. Just looking down on the touchline to see if there's any sign of George Williams emerging at any point. I know Ian Millwall's looking forward to that moment.
He's a very talented player.
Widdop with a pass away, and it's a forward pass to Whitehead. And a couple of forward passes down this right-hand side, and it's all getting a little heated again here, unnecessarily. Just give him the ball.
Elliot, walk away. Whistle's ball, mate. Just turn the ball over. Come on,
It's a sign of England's frustration at the moment.
Take boys that way, please. Here we are.
It might be. It's just that they're doing one good thing and then maybe not. Was it forward? That's debatable, that ball there. I'm impressed with what the big fellas are doing in and around the middle. At least they're laying the platform, and Lebanon should be tiring.
Danny, stay on. Stay there, Gareth. Let's come up, please. Players, let's get bound up.
Well, the coach was full of praise for the way they held on for a full 80 minutes, but full 80 minutes against England is a very different proposition than a full 80 minutes against the current French national side.
Head in, Josh. Right, here we go.
So tanks running towards empty in terms of the reserves and the fuel that Lebanon might have left in this game, and England looking to press and press hard here in defence to keep the go forward to an absolute minimum. Make them toil for every yard. Leisha goes out right. Ellis.
3, move, Ben! Here, James, 3. Go.
Leisha back towards the middle. She's trying to burst their way forward in the shape of Elias Sukkar on that occasion.
Right here, go.
Wentworthville, his club. Again, in the lower leagues, the lower tiers here in Australia. 5 tackles gone. Lebanon have made it to the halfway line. They're looking for a kick. They're looking for Moses. He finds it. And England will have their head and feet 10 metres out.
That's a fairly good indicator what they think of the game at the moment. They need to slow it up. Moses said, look, we got out of our half. I don't know if we can go back to back. We haven't got that sort of experience in 80-minute games, and he's kicked the ball into touch. It was a really good play. I'll tell you the other thing I'm really applauding at the moment is the England team. When the ball moves away from the forwards, the work from the inside, they're pushing up hard, tying in.
There's George Burgess, by the way. George Burgess, in case people are wondering.
He's out with the Barmy Army out there, isn't he?
Yeah. Twin brother Tom on the field.
Where their heads in, where there. Adam, get your leg down in the scrum. Get in. Out, away.
So England get possession again. McGilvery bringing it forward.
Help! Release Nick! Back to me.
Hodgson out of dummy half. Whitehead putting in the effort. One of several NRL-based players, of course, in this English side. He plays with Canberra, the country capital. Walmsley now taking it on. Hodgson again. Another Canberra player. Here's Graham. Oh, the ball has split them here. Burgess with a charge down the middle. He's not even thinking about the pass. He's thinking about the try.
That's for Sam. That's for George. How good was that?
Big brother Sam loves the moment. George was looking on, but it's Thomas of that family who celebrates the try. It's like a triangle of Burgesses all enjoying that moment, but it's Tom's glory. His second try in his international career.
Well, what a ball from James Graham. Push from Tom Burgess, he just runs over the full-back. He's got support either side, but no way, Jose, this is for me.
He's got
60 metres, which will be 100 metres by about midnight tonight. Well done, Tom Burgess, and that's the athleticism of these big blokes. Brilliant.
He's got Ratchford on his right, he's got Gale on his left, and he takes them on.
It's tunnel vision there, wasn't it? Tunnel vision. He saw that white line and that was all he wanted to know.
Well, if Slayman had got anywhere near him, it would have been the Maori sidestep anyway, but I think he's done his best to avoid him.
It's looking painful. Widdop with a chance to add the 2 here, which he does, skillfully enough. 28 points to 6. England lead, and that just settles things again in his second half.
You're spot on, Brian, about Graham. Didn't get flustered, knew they were coming up on the outside, played short, read the situation so well. Nice off pass. He's through. He's thinking, well, I think I got this.
He's got a left foot step.
Look, to see the smiles on the English players when he beat them.
Sam loves it. And what does George think about it? Well, he's got the headgear on and he loves it too.
I think somebody told him his haircut was no good, so he stuck the beanie on.
Well, they're quite a family in these parts, aren't they? They are almost rugby league royalty in Sydney, the 3 of them, all playing with Souths.
Hands off. Wait here with me. Wait. Go.
Hudson out of dummy half. He's here again.
2.
George.
Move! Come on!
Tom.
Good. Elias, come on in the ruck. 3. Hammond, move!
I like this discipline, Ian. The English side, they're not going away from what's been successful. Walmsley, Burgess, look, cracking those holes, offload here as well, and creating the opportunities.
Widdop's away, Watkins away, McGilvray on this right-hand side, looking to step back on the inside again, looking for that furrow, but closed down. Tackled by Farah. Watkins 20 metres out. Widdop. Here's Graham. Hill. Back on the field. I think it's another forward pass that's been given here, is it?
It certainly is. It certainly is a forward pass. Gee, they're doing some damage there. The middle forwards, big English forwards, to and fro. It was good to hear.
I think they've realised that whatever went on, it wasn't what everybody thought it was.
No.
And now they get into the spirit of the game.
Yeah, 100%.
Make sure you're bound properly. I'll tell you when.
Well, 22 minutes left to play in the match. England re-establishing their authority with that try, 28 points to 6. That authority's never really been challenged on the scoreboard anyway. What are they looking for now in this next 22 minutes?
Well, just to finish with that element of discipline, and when I say discipline, it's people being in the right place, having the discipline to stay at the middle until you've created some kind of bend in the line, some fracture in the line, or an opportunity on the fringe, because there's a little bit of doubt on the outside of what's happening in the middle, and finishing the game with excellent kicks as well as they can.
Still looking for Williams as an interchange player. He's actually warming up on the sidelines at the moment, George Williams. He's got the top off, he's ready to come out. Just doing a couple of sprints down the sidelines. The England backroom staff having a chat with him. Paul Wellens is down there with him, so it looks as though Williams is coming on soon. In the meantime, Lebanon offering a threat here and bringing it deep inside the English half again. Tackle is good on Webber. Robbie Farah waits and kicks away into that corner. Good game control on that occasion, that moment.
As Ian says, that's a direct indication as to where the Lebanon are. Let's try and keep them down here. Let's try and do those kind of things that we didn't plan to do. So that's the reason for the kicking game, gives these players a rest whilst they're going to the scrum to aim up again to defend this English team. And the concentration element that England need is to not let those little fractures and those little half breaks that we've seen there. That's what they'll be looking for.
To what Wayne's looking for, that's 6. He doesn't want to see that 6 for Lebanon change. He wants it to stay at 6. He's a big stickler for that. He'd walk straight away and say, that's what I want. That's what he spoke about at half-time.
Here's Walmsley. Ratchford is coming off now, and George Williams is coming on. So it'll be interesting how that changes the dynamic. Walmsley's coming off as well, and O'Loughlin is coming on.
It'll be Widdop going to the fullback role.
100%, 100%. And O'Loughlin's coming on to give that little bit more fluency with the ball. But being involved with Gareth at the St George Illawarra, I'm looking forward to him playing fullback here. And that's where he played all of his 20s. He only moved into the halves because they had a bloke called Billy Slater at Melbourne where he came through.
He's starting at dummy half here. Here comes Luke Gale. Elbows and knees pumping away as he got it away. And here's Bateman, who's carried it deep. But they're on the 5th tackle here, England. So 1 play to go. Williams in the centre of things is shouting for the ball to get into his hands, but they're going down that left-hand side. It's Gale's kick. He got a touch of a Lebanon hand. There's a slip again by the fullback Abu Slayman, but he has gathered that ball in safely. And they start from deep. That's tackle 2 already for Travis Robinson. Dash down the blind side. Marbani.
Struggled coming out of their half, haven't they, Brian? Really struggled coming out of their half. Very one out, very predictable. English forwards have been able to dominate them in the rucks, haven't they?
They certainly have, and that'll be the pleasing element for England.
Here's 12. There's the 5th. They're only on the 30-metre mark. A look around by Michael Leisha. A kick away from Mitchell Moses. Widdop, as predicted by these two to my left, suggesting that he would be at fullback, and he is, and he catches safely enough. Williams is going to get his first involvement here at dummy half, which is a pass on the inside to McGilvray. Winds himself up and hits that Lebanon line.
Having said that, I was hoping that George Williams went to 9 because I thought he could do some major damage around that ruck area after these big forwards have rolled down there.
And I think one of the question marks for Wayne Bennett moving forward is how they inject that. Robbie in the last game who was very, very successful against Australia. And if you're going to use Hodgson all the time here and not use Williams at dummy half, who's going to be that person that can exploit those kind of things?
Well, the pass has gone to ground and gone backwards, and Widdop, all he can do is get back and keep it. Well, in fact, he can do more than that. He's picked it up nicely here, and he's turning nothing into something just a little bit better. But they're on the 6th. It's with Williams. It's his kick, arrowed, angled, collected by Miski. Farah. Lebanon again looking to bash their way out. Struggling to do so. Farah. Yards being earned here, but not many of them. England's defence very much on top. Travis Robinson, the right winger. Another 5 yards nibbled forward, that's all. Now a collect by Michael Leisha. Farah's pass to the left, a little bit of a juggle here for Douay. Inside ball from him, but England's defence is quick to respond. Williams, first man in there. Douay scoops it back. Moses, Mitchell Moses. Parramatta these days, of course, switched in mid-season away from West's Tigers. Widdop with a step. Ryan Hall into the dummy half position. His wingmate McGilvray from the other side is the man who carries it really well. 40 out. Still 4 tackles left in this set. Hodgson again. Offside by the Lebanese defence, trying to get in England's faces too quickly.
Coming down, Michael. Hey! Mitchell, careful of the flops. Offside.
Mitchell Marmory, the put forward, just having a cautionary word from the referee. They're not going to kick, they're going to drive on here.
Move, Mitchell! Okay, boys.
Hodgson, that's been lost, I think. No, penalty.
Hands on the ball.
Was he lucky to get away with that?
I'd have to look again. He's either dropped it cold or it's definitely a penalty, and the referee adjudicated it.
Well, it's definitely a penalty.
He's given it.
He's given it. So
Mitchell, get out of there.
we can't argue.
Discuss your birthday.
Here's Hodgson out of dummy half again. England set fair. 5 tackles to go. 10 metres away. Hill's coming on now. Left arm trying to work free, but defenders wrapping themselves around him again. He won't go to ground, will Chris Hill. It was his birthday yesterday, by the way, 30 years of age. And again, the rock too messy from the referee's liking. And he gives another penalty to England.
Well, I think they'd rather give a penalty away than give a quick play of the balls where they've got an opportunity. And I think that's the mentality they've got into.
Not released, at the back of the ruck. I've had a word several times with Mitchell about flopping in and staying in after my help. You've got to have a word with me. No, get into him.
Well, they have to get away, don't they? They can't just keep hanging on. They've got to get away. Here comes O'Loughlin now for England with a pass. Curry got one try to his name. Desperate to get another. 5 metres out. Hodgson. Curry's complaining. Hodgson picks up, gets on with it. O'Loughlin. Williams caught, but unleashes himself. And the step off the right foot. Claims for obstruction. And Hodgson slides in at dummy half. Hills to his right-hand side, he goes left. And Gale with the ball back, and Bateman came in at the angle from deep. Lebanon's defence hanging on here. England want another. Hodgson steps back, throws a pass. Gale with a kick, the chase is on, it bounces. It's Farah who gets up there. And a big take from Lebanon's point of view.
He's done really well there, Farah. It was a smart kick. There was plenty of England attacking chasers there to finish off the play, but we see some great line speed as well from England.
Farah's having a look around, looking where the next big fella's coming from. He goes out wide to De Gea again. He's not the biggest, but he's got an attitude here. James Graham just couldn't hold himself up there. He was coming running in to stop the progress, and the referee said it held, shouted held, literally moments before he got there, hence the look of frustration on James Graham's face.
Well, he'd gone such a long way. I think just like a metre before, he's thinking himself, I know I've got to stop here, and it's a tough call, I think.
I think he even touched the Lebanese player.
Yeah, I don't know what he's penalising for. That's not a forward being physical, was it?
He only touched his own man.
Josh, wait with me, please.
Anyway, Lebanon have it now. Bit of encouragement for them inside the England half. Just a one try so far in the second half, scored by Tom Burgess. Michael Leisha, 40 yards out. Lebanon looking to create something here if they can. Off the ball on Moses was the claim by the Lebanese players there, but the referee's not heeding it. The last play on again. Marmari comes in and he offloads, and they keep it alive. Now it's with Abu Sulaiman. Off to Cassis. Cassis searching out, but finding only Williams there, who's tackling him. Holding on. Couple of plays to go here. Searching down this blind side. Doehi. This is the last play. 20 metres out. Kick high from Farah. Off that left foot of his. Hall's underneath there. It's a battle in midair, but I think it's Hall who's going to claim it. Well, he's been given it by the referee ahead of Marbani.
Wait there, Ryan. Wait there, lane get square. Wait.
He's ready. He can go. With it, Bateman. Driving it forward.
He's been tough tonight, hasn't he, John Bateman? He got some decent carries down that left-hand side and looked strong.
Equally, McGilvray has got through his work here. Watkins gets up and plays it. Hall also on the other side. The two wingers again have done the hard yards. The men down the middle trying to do something here. Hodgson. Graham, James Graham. Makes the contact, makes another 5 or 6 metres. Hodgson's going for a kick. Looks decently flighted, and it's just going to hold up there in that corner. It makes it difficult for Abu Sulaiman with the England chase.
Well, I think it's a good kick because it stays in field and it gives the England on tour full time against these part-timers. You clearly see we've still got 7 or 8 Lebanese players trying to get back behind the ball to try and carry it, so I think it's a smart kick.
11 minutes and counting, but it's a penalty for Lebanon. Is there a frustration here, Ian Millward, from an England point of view, that they've not put Lebanon away?
I've enjoyed their kicking game in the second half, England. I think it's been really clinical and really astute what the game needs, because they don't want to slow the game up. They need the tempo to keep going up at a high tempo. England. What I haven't enjoyed is a couple of times some easy penalties out of half, and which you've seen that in the second half. The only thing is Lebanon are out on their feet. They're just sick of coming out of their half, and they're absolutely tired. So they're the little things. But I've got to say that the England defence has looked competent all night, hasn't it? You know, the one try from a kick, which they are a little bit of a fumble, but overall, I hope I haven't put the Jonah on him here with just nearly 10 minutes to go. But it's looked very solid, hasn't it?
You got to agree with that, Ian. And maybe a bit of mistiming and still a bit of execution issues on both fringes offensively, but yeah, I agree that the kicking game has improved this second half.
Day. Lebanon still game, if not quite in the game at the moment. Miski out back, moves it into the hands of Nick Cassis. Cassis carries it forward. Farah spinning it out. Mitchell Moses dropping one back in again. For a moment he was looking behind the ball, wondering, making sure it had got where it needed to go. Webber had caught it. Here comes the sixth. The grubber kick. Widdop has to deal with it, does deal with it, gets back in the field of play. Has he? No, he's not. He's grounded it in goal. It'll be a dropout underneath the sticks. England have got some defending to do here.
Well, it's Farah again who threads the needle and finds a great kick. He's got some supporting act in his chase. I think he has to gather the ball with it, which he slips in the end and isn't able to use his prowess to get out. But it's a good kick chase from the Lebanon. Give them full credit.
9 minutes 11 seconds of this second half remaining. Victory here for England tonight puts them virtually into the quarter-finals. They will confirm that absolutely with a win against France next week. They've done what they needed to do against a spirited side, but they'll want to up the ante in the last 9 minutes or so and maybe bag a few more tries just to make it look an even more positive outcome. Lisha bends his back. Alex Twal takes it in. A junior kangaroo in 2015 and 2016. Star of the future of the front row. Here comes Abu Slayman. Robinson. Moses. Step on here by Clark. Jamie Clark. They're in a decent position with 2 tackles to go. Lebanon. Twal hammers it in. One play. England defending on their own line. 1 tackle to play with. Farah spins it away to Moses. His kick pings the legs of Watkins and goes out of play. This is going to be head and feet for Lebanon, isn't it?
He's going to say he played at
that.
Yeah. This will be interesting.
I think that's a tough call on England.
I thought he kicked it into his legs.
Well, the Super League interpretation these days is if you're advancing towards the player, that counts as playing at the ball.
Ben, go line, Sean. Luke.
We're not going to be shown a replay, I don't think.
Let's get back, please.
Lebanese supporters still finding some decent points. There'll be a party in certain suburbs of Sydney tonight, whatever the outcome here. It is a real fanaticism that follows this Lebanese side around. We went to one of the fans' events earlier this week and it was terrific, really good night. There's Farah to Moses and out towards Marbani, who's lost the ball and it's gone out of play.
He's not in touch first, is he? All right. So knock on by Luke Gale, your ball.
It's going to be another head and feed for Lebanon here.
Lebanon ball.
Well, it's hard to see what happened there, but we'll get a clearer picture on this one. And they go to the fringes and yeah, Luke Gale gets his hand on the ball there, which he has to do to stop the ball from the inside play. Right decision, officials.
No.
So real test here for England. Real test here for England, back-to-back sets.
Yeah, boys.
They have to
Keep it
defend
going,
on their
please.
own line virtually.
Bang, guys. That's how it went, Rob. Well there, Robbie.
Feeling the heat
Get up, head in, mate.
on a cool night in Sydney.
Dan, head in. Okay, Robbie.
There's the feed, here it comes. First effort is by Weber. 5 away. Lebanon with 5 more tackles to come. Michael Leisha bends and throws inside to Farah. Farah back to Moses again. Now it's Dewey. Dewey the centre, showing some footwork. Grabbed a hold of by Hodgson. Graham's there to help him out in defence. There's another 4 tackles to come. Leisha. Back with Farah. Now it's Twal. Search one way, Search is the other. England's defence remains robust. Leisha to Farah. The chip, McGillivray has it red. Might have tackled his man in the air. The referee's allowed play on anyway. Cassis waits at dummy half. Inside for Mitchell Moses. It's a big heavy carry by a big heavy fella. Mitchell Marmary taking it in. Last play. Referee's got his arm in the air. They'll be looking for some creativity here. Big pass from Farah. Mitchell Moses the target. He puts a little skip on. Now they go to that right-hand side. A surge for the corner by Jason Weber. He'll claim it. He'll claim the try. Referee is going to need a second view.
Right, Phil, on the 5th tackle, we have no try.
No try on the field, he says.
Checking to make sure he gets it down, please.
Looking at the grounding.
Well, I think he looked like he was tied up. He's not over-enthused. I think that he's got it down. And again, it's great scramble defence. They're probably their 4th set, but he gets on the outside, doesn't he?
So we're looking for sufficient evidence that he did ground the ball.
Yeah,
I think we've got it there. I think if you just take that back, we can pause that with the ball on the floor. At that point there, we can overrule a live call. Show it on this replay. See enough evidence, that's fine. Go into the screen.
Well, I think this is a moment that's going on Jason Weber's show reel. He's got a try. He's got a try. And Lebanon are into double figures.
Not only are they into double figures, if he kicks the goal, it's 6-all in the second half. So a little bit disappointing the way they defend here, England. Very passive, not prepared to get hard off their line and really get amongst the Lebanese defence. Showed a little bit of enterprise on that right-hand side late in this half, and the left-hand side of England have allowed that by, like I said, you know, not being aggressive, get off your line, get amongst them. So this is, for them, this is like a win, Lebanon, this second half. You know, you've seen Fittler very animated at half-time. This is the result.
Well, they had a great victory against the French in the opening game, 29 points to 18. The kick from the touchline is wide from Moses, but 28 points to 10 represents a very decent effort from Lebanon here
Well,
tonight.
it's the end on camera, and they'll see he just gets on the outside of his defender, his Webby there. They're a bit passive. John Bateman on his haunches again a little bit there, which gives him the running opportunity and the ability to score.
So don't forget, it was man on man. You know, Bateman's sitting back. He's just got to go hard forward, even though Gale let him get to his outside. It was man on man. Get at him. Be aggressive.
Well, 3.5 minutes left to play. 28 points to 10, England lead. Never really in any doubt that they were going to win this game really tonight, but satisfaction levels dipping substantially as a result of that Webby try. Here's Farah. Mitchell Moses. He's lively, isn't he? He's lost it. Knock it on. Heard the referee shout that, so it's head and feet for England here at the scrum. A little bit of a limp there from Luke Gale as well. He's got hurt in the tackle, I think.
Well, I think if you're Brad Fittler, you're probably a little bit more enthused about the performance tonight than maybe Wayne Bennett. That's not to say England did too much wrong, but it's been a little bit flat in the second half? No.
Yeah, look, defensively they've been pretty good up to that last part. Kicking-wise, it's sort of built some pressure, but just never put any icing on the cake. I'll tell you what Brad Fittler would have said. It's the character of our performance in the second half will determine what we're doing in this World Cup after last week's win against France, and they've backed it up here in the second half. At times they were out on their feet and they've kicked the ball in the touch to slow the game up, and they've got that reward there with some repeat sets, and England cracked.
Well, they've got a chance to finish on a high here. Tom Burgess, the only England try scorer in this second half, is the man who takes it in.
Come on, Michael, quick in that rock.
Here comes Walmsley.
Move! Tim, come
When the cork came out of the bottle with that Watkins try in the 9th minute, we were expecting some real sparkle, but a little flat and warm at the moment, the England performance. 10 metres out. Can they add some fizz right at the very end here? Ratchford's in at dummy half. Williams with a pass to Watkins, who's quick away. McGilvray is over, but guess what? It's another forward pass I think he's given in the build-up here. Watkins' final ball. What do you make of that, fellas? You seem perplexed.
Right, I've seen a few this second half that are questionable. That's best I can say about it. I don't think it was.
You didn't think it was a forward pass?
No, I didn't. And I think there's a couple others I didn't think were forward either.
No, I was...
Done, heads in, Gareth.
Well, it's not going to matter in terms of the outcome, but it does matter in terms of what the scoreline looks like. There's a little chip and chase here. Lebanon want to provide some entertainment before we all go home, but they've lost the ball. It's picked up by Widdop, so England do get another chance to add something at the end of this game. 20-odd seconds left to play. Ratchford in at dummy half. Walmsley back on the field. The wrecking ball effect from him attempted. Ratchford's here again, squeezes it to that right-hand side. Williams looking for the step. 3 getting around them. Another one comes flying in over the top, stopping him in his tracks. Ratchford again, last couple of seconds. This is the last play. Widdop's going for a drop goal, and he puts it over. 1 point to finish the game. I think the referee's given it 29 points to 10. England have won. It is a win, that's what they needed. But was it quite the performance that they needed?
Probably not, but they've got another game, or hopefully another couple of games. They've talked about building in this World Cup. They did some good things, and they'll pick out the good things, but they might be disappointed with themselves about what they've done. Second half, I thought defensively right until that last play at the other end, they were good. The kicking game improved. Just that fluidity of execution on the fringes for me and the ability to keep building prepper.
You know, Brian, it's very similar to Challenge Cup, World Cups. What you've got to do is you've got to just win that game, then move on and work out where you need to improve and where you need to become more consistent and keep doing the things that you're doing well. So getting through the next round's the most important things, and it's you know, Challenge Cup. No one looks at the for and against in Challenge Cup, and you won't look at the for and against here in the World Cup. It'll be winning, learning and moving on. So we can be critical of some areas they need to be better.
Well, we've got the man of the match. It's Josh Hodgson, and he's speaking with Brett Camorley down there on the touchline.
Yeah, well, our man of the match today is Josh Hodgson. Well, Josh, a 19-point victory, probably clinical, but there's still a little bit to work on.
Yeah, definitely. I think we was good in the first half. I thought we completed really well. I thought in that second half, probably too many times when we got down on their line, we gifted them too much possession and gave away a couple of penalties, which, you know, in turn give them a couple of piggybacks down our end. So, you know, we'll obviously look to fix up that up, but first and foremost, obviously happy with the win.
You got a lot of forward momentum today. Those big guys roll forward for you. Allowed yourself some time to jump from dummy half?
Yeah, I thought our big boys was really good today. We spoke about playing really direct, and, you know, Lebanon have got a big pack, and we knew there was going to be physical, and we knew we had to match that and try and come over the top of them, and I thought our middle was really good.
Going forward, Wayne's made mention about, obviously, we've got to improve week by week. What is the focus, you think, for next week?
I think individually, looking at yourself and just trying to keep build throughout the tournament. It's a long road to the World Cup, and there'll be some World Cup finals, and there'll be some tough games, but if we can keep improving every week, then, you know, we've got a chance.
Congratulations on your match, and thank you for your time.
Cheers, mate.
Also got Robbie Farah. Well, Robbie, 55% of the ball for England. Some tough decisions to go against you. Frustrating night?
Yeah, you know, when you play a team that you know, is one of the best in the world, you need the rub of the green, or at least a fair go. And I thought we were hard done by there with a few of the calls, but mate, credit to our guys. I thought our effort was outstanding. You know, we definitely didn't disgrace ourselves tonight. If anything, I think we earned a little bit of respect.
Yeah, that's right. And obviously, you know, you were in the contest, you scored a try in both halves. As you said, you've got to be extremely brave. And the passion, again, continually that showed by your football side.
You know, we just hung in there. You know, like you said, things weren't going our way. We found ourselves defending our line. Mate, at the end of the day, we're a team of park footballers pretty much. And to compete for 80 minutes like that against a world-class team is an outstanding effort, mate. And yeah, I can't praise my boys enough.
Obviously, an on-field allegation. Obviously, you want to make a comment on that?
Oh, no, not really, mate. You never like seeing any of those things happen on the footy field. I guess, you know, I reacted to what happened. It's pretty clear for everyone to see, I think, on the replay, so that's all I say.
Good luck next Sunday.
Thanks, mate. Cheers.
And we will look at that a little bit later on with Jonathan and Robbie and Kevin here in the studio. There are the overall stats from the game. England winning by 29 points to 10. Look at the difference in tackles as well. Roughly 100 more made by Lebanon than England, and 9 errors by both teams. Hashtag BBC RL if you want to get in touch with us over the next half hour, 25 minutes or so, and we'll get you more reaction as well from Sydney after England's win. How do you sum that up? Because it feels quite feels sort of difficult to where. Do you go positive? Do you go negative? Is it a bit in the middle?
Probably in the middle. I think it's job done. We needed to win.
That's what the guy said in commentary.
Yeah.
Win it, move on.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we needed to win. Could have been a banana skin for us. Defensively, we were very, very good again. The guys mentioned it in commentary as well. We kicked pretty smart as well. We just lacked a little bit of fluency, I felt. And I thought if you compare the game to last week, the game was very stop-start today. A lot of forward passes, a lot of penalties, a lot of errors. Was last week it was flowing. I think if we'd have had a flowing type game today, we'd have won by a lot more.
Yeah, I think it's when you play against the better sides, you know, you're going to get the tempo and flow. When you play against the lesser side, like you said, you know, they're the amateurs or the park side, England have got to keep that tempo going. It's up to them to keep the tempo going because the level will drop. And I think that, you know, being critical, I think they spoke about they always knew they were going to win, but they spoke about performance. And I felt that the performance wasn't that great. I think they'd have been disappointed in some key elements like the kicking game, opportunities they had and they wasted. There's a lot of forward passes there. You can agree if they were forward or not. It comes on the referee. He thought they were forward, right? So I think they were a bit flat. They've got to keep their depth as well a little bit more, just a yard or so. So, you know, looking at the performance, what they wanted, I think they haven't got what they wanted out of it. But as Kev says, look, you just move on. You're still in the tournament. You've got no injuries, hopefully. And then you look forward to the next game.
They're also not a park side. Robbie Farah's trying to play them down there a little bit. I know, you know, plucky underdogs and everything. We spent a lot of time in the build-up saying, hang on a minute, they've got NRL players in this team of Lebanon. So he's been a little bit mischievous, is Farah, with that bit of his
Should have been 50, though. Should have been 50.
Yeah, he's trying to build some confidence in and around his Lebanon squad and what they're building there in the Sydney community and abroad also. So he's playing smart. Robbie's been around a long time. Good name, by the way, but he's been around. Just throw that in. But he's a smart cookie, isn't he? He knows exactly what he's doing. It's a PR game as well as a game of rugby from Lebanon's perspective. They've got a big one next week.
More reaction from the England camp then. Here's James Graham.
A better performance this week to last week, but there's still a little bit to work on.
Oh yeah, we got the victory this week, which was important to us. You know, this is a tournament that I think we're going to build into. You know, there was patches today where I thought we were really good, and then sometimes a little bit indifferent. But you know what? You got to give a lot of credit to Lebanon because from that very first hit up, they came to play, and you know, whatever's going on in their camp, they're doing the right things, and yeah, commend them for what they've done. This is, I think, their first World Cup, so. You know, I think it's got to be a celebration of where rugby league's going to get to, in my opinion.
Yeah, obviously promotion. That's what this World Game is all about. The forwards for England, they certainly laid a wonderful platform, and your dummy half, he got me in the match today.
Yeah, well, Josh is an outstanding player. We see him do that week in, week out for Canberra. So, you know, if you can generate a quick ruck for him, he's very crafty out of dummy half. So, yeah, he's a great player to play alongside.
Got a little bit of your ball playing skills back again, running onto the ball, creating some momentum.
Oh yeah, I got stung for a forward pass. The coach won't be too happy with that, but I don't know, you can't comment on the rest of it, yeah, whatever.
A win is a win, congratulations and good luck.
Thanks mate, appreciate it, all the best.
Also got Alex.
James Graham, just on the decisions and on the refereeing, James Doe sent us a tweet saying, I've said it before and I'll say it again, how can a Rugby League World Cup game have a referee from one of the countries playing? It makes absolutely no sense. Whether they have a good game or whether they have a bad game, the fact that they share a nationality with one of the teams is a stick with which to beat them, surely.
I don't think so.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Well, of course it is.
You were talking about professional referees here. We're talking about people that get paid to do a job, and the reality is, they're not. They kind of lose their identity in regards to where they come from when they're in that professional environment. And what they're trying to do is compete to referee in their final. They want to do the best job because, from a professional point of view, they want to be in that final. They want to be given the whistle and the job in that final.
All right,
and the reality is, it's going to be either Australia or
if you're going to get an England-Australia final, why don't you put a New Zealand referee in then?
Well, you could have.
Well, you should have, because you're going to make a decision, and if it comes down to the last minute, you've got an English referee and he's going to make a decision and cost England the World Cup. I wouldn't like to be in this position. So I'm thinking you've got to take the... I know what they want to do. They want to be the best. They want to be in the World Cup final. But unfortunately, if you're an English referee and you've got Australia-England final, I don't think there should be an English referee there just to take him out of the limelight. You know, I remember we played in Papua New Guinea and asked for the referee whose ball is in the scrum. He said it was our ball. So that about sums it up, right? Although how, impartial you want to be.
That was during the Dark Ages.
Yeah. If you were in a New Zealand-Australia World Cup final and the referee was Australian, would you have a problem with it?
No, I wouldn't. Absolutely no problem.
Honestly, Robbie.
Well, I've played in those games.
Yeah, I know you have.
And I wouldn't have a problem because I understand that they're just doing their job, and they are. This is something that we, as supporters, we project onto them, because of how we view it. Yeah. They don't view it like that.
As a player...
They are professionals.
Yeah, as a player and as a referee, I wouldn't mind if it was an English or a Welsh or a New Zealand referee. But I think it just puts a little bit more pressure on the referee. And when it's the toughest job in the world anyway, you don't actually need that, I don't think. So if there is someone who is kind of not in the final, I think it may be...
Let's stop talking about referees.
Yeah,
well, no, because I have one more question to ask you
about referees.
Yeah, if it was an Australia-England final and an English referee was suggested for it, do you think the Australians would be happy with it?
I don't think they would.
Right.
But I think it's about time. If it's an England-Australia final, we get English ref.
Why?
I can tell you why. I'll tell you why, and this is a valid reason as well.
Yes. You're very animated on the subject. It's great. I feel like you're going to virtually jump over the desk.
British referees referee with one referee. Australians referee with two.
Yeah. Best man for the job.
Yeah.
Best man for the job.
Yeah.
Should we talk the rugby league then now? OK. Let's take a look at the England try from that second half, which was scored, of course, by Tom Burgess. Kevin.
Yeah, I think we saw a similar try when we had our warm-up game. Tom Burgess did something, it was off an Alex Walmsley pass. But this is what James Graham has made his name from, just that little short pass, he takes the ball into the line, and what a finish from a big man. 50 metres out, he'll be happy with that.
I didn't expect that.
And in a minute we're going to see the last Burgess to rampage through at a World Cup to score a try. And it's and it will be that man there as we see Sam celebrating. Remember this, Kevin?
Yep.
There are some similarities there, aren't there?
I think they're not used to it. That's what, I think we should do more of that because, historically they look at the British forwards as ball handlers, whereas Australia they're more robotic. So they'll do their job, they'll do their job, they'll do their job. So they'll target in the first ball carrier. So if any props can do that, and pop it through the whole of the support. Luke Gale was supporting as well. So if he doesn't make it, he scores. So I think they need more of that.
And James Graham is 6'3". He's a big lad. He's over 100 kgs. The defenders in front of him, both of them have to deal with him. And that's what he does. He sucks flies to them. But the most frightening thing of the day is if you're the fullback for Lebanon and you've got you've got Tom running at you. You know, whoa, I've been that guy before. And it's a lonely, lonely place to have someone that size moving at that speed at you. Yeah, I'd be that one as well. You just
away you go. The disappointment, I suppose, is that was the only try of that half.
Yeah, I think if they...
For England.
If they're realistic about winning the tournament, I think they have to improve on their attack. You know, you're only playing Lebanon, you should be scoring more tries. They have to be more creative. They have to want them to score more tries all the time. And I think that's the thing. Australia and New Zealand will score tries. Also, you know, the Pacific Island boys will look to score tries. So I think there's a lot of improvement on their attacking side. The kicking game has got to improve, the decision making on the last play, but also creativity. It's okay going down the right-hand side, not so great going down the left-hand side, but you need your full-back to understand what's he there for. Is he going to be there, like, you know, like an extra half-back, or is he going to be the extra man out wide to create that extra man? So they have to really work that out, because I think they need to be a little bit more offensive.
I agree with Jonathan. I think the fluency, certainly down our left edge, we need to be better there. I think to go further in this competition throughout the knockout stages, we need to be a threat all across the park. I felt today that we shouldn't underestimate the emotional and mental baggage from last week. It was a huge effort against Australia. Yeah. And I think a little of that might have crept in. I think we might have been a little bit fatigued going in. I'm not looking for making excuses. 20 minutes or so. I'm not making excuses. I just think, for us, James Graham mentioned the word build, and we talked about it right at the start of the show about how we build into these next few weeks. I think that there's a decent foundation today for us to improve and get better. We didn't need to be 9 out of 10 today. We just need to get the job done.
During the game, you were all looking at areas that England could improve on, which, again, England have won, so it's not being overly critical, but it's what they might look on, Jonathan, going forward.
I think depth is one thing they've got to do. I think the kick in, it's a left-foot kick, he's not a left-footer. You know, and again, they hold their depth. They create the extra man look. They've got 2 men over, but they've got to hold their depth and be aware of the runners. You know, that's the thing they've got to do. A few mistakes and penalties, but I don't know. It's just the finishing part. Again, nothing on. There's a guy at the back there, like Ratchford. You know, you've got to give an act a better option. It just needs to be a little bit more clinical. And I think there's one point. And this one here, look, on this side, it's the left-hand side. There's Ratchford, the full-back. He needs to come over there. The kick goes in. It's a left-footed kick, not a bad kick, but just look. If they hold their depth, though, if Curry hits a hole, you've got 2-on-1. Those are the opportunities against Australia and New Zealand they have to look at. You've got plenty of time as a kicker. We all know, we've all kicked the ball, right? You, at the last option, you can look at it. If you should have some peripheral vision. And then when you see that, you've just got to give it. But again, this is where I think, what is the role of the full-back? Because he needs to be, you know, the eyes and the ears of the side to go, right, if it's on to pass, he has got to call. Because Luke Gale is thinking, I've got to put the kick in. He has got to say, it's on. And then he gives it to the last moment. So they've got to hold their depth and be confident in the calls coming outside. And I think, you know, again, the opportunities created were brilliant. But they've got to be clinical in their execution. And I think that's what they've got to work on.
There are so many things from that question. Just when you talk about holding your depth, is that a sort of a trying not to be too eager? Is that being in the rhythm and of playing together a lot? How do you learn to hold your depth?
You just got to give them a little bit of space. It's better being a little bit later coming onto the ball than if you're early. It's a forward pass and you're out of the play. So you've just got to watch and wait to see what happens to the player. You can't take your line off the inside player of the scrum half. You've got to take your line off the player inside you. And you've got to give him time to give and take. If the pass is poor, you know, you've got to give him half a yard again. So you've just got to watch where you are and not overrun your inside player.
You're talking right. You know, your time and spatial awareness comes with repetition. It comes with spending more time with the systems, with the combinations, and making sure you start to learn. And you learn it without even understanding, without consciously thinking about it. You're picking up on the way, the style of the way your teammates play. You know when they're going to take someone on. They kind of get this glazed look across their eyes, and you know that they're going for something. You can read their body language, and you go upstream. Other times they're looking at you. They've got eye contact with you, so you know to sit back. The way people hold themselves themselves. That comes with repetition. That comes with you spending more time on the field with them. And going back into what Kevin was saying in regards to building, that's what these next three, well, today's game plus the next two, is all about. It's about creating those repetitions and building those combinations together. And where we're seeing I think the biggest deficiency is quite. You see, it's systemised on the right-hand side. The left-hand side, with Ratchford not being around there, as we pointed out in that footage, that was systematic all night. The fullback constantly had a big lead weight in his right ear, and he was always on the right side of the field, not offering that option on the left-hand side. And I think that's something that just got to get that balance, because you come up against the New Zealands, the Tongas, the Australians. You need to offer threats everywhere on the park.
Disbo says Kevin's right. We avoided a massive banana skin. Well done, England. Chris Hawkins, England stuttering and unconvincing. Michael Morgan, poor performance for me.